right, we got some people in the chat. Oh, I think there we are. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the JCPS Digital Learning Channel. It is Wednesday, January 13th, and I am all this morning. We are going to have programming about Sabbath. I'm Stephen Durham with the Digital Learning Channel. I will be your host and moderator today. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Linda with the Sabbath team, and she's going to let us know what we're going to be doing first thing this morning. Take it away, Linda.
Okay, good morning. I'm Linda Cortez, and you might see some other people down there. Those are some of my colleagues who are just kind of watching and making sure if you have questions that they get answered or they get called to my attention. So I'm going to put some slides up here. And I'm sure Stephen will help me through this.
Yep, I'm right here. 3 dots, share screen.
Okay, hold on. I got to go back because I always forget to do the share screen part. There we go.
I mean, you can describe the slides to us in vivid detail, but looking at them is pretty good too. All right, yes, you're doing good. And now we're going to go ahead and click present over there by the share button. Okay, and now we're going to click, see where it says stop sharing, click hide right next to it.
Okay.
Oh, and then there you go, closed caption. See the CC there?
Yes.
And click on that. And then click allow.
Got it.
All right, we are rolling. Good job, Linda.
Awesome. Okay. So I want to welcome the JCPS K-5 teachers. You may be wondering how Envision Math aligns with your curriculum framework, and how would you love to know that you're using the right resources at the right time to teach the right stuff? Well, this is the session called Putting Envision Magic to Work. I'm Linda Cortez. I am your partner for K-5 Envision Math. And in this video, you're going to discover a cool alignment tool that's made just for you that's going to make your planning and teaching math way easier. How awesome is that? I'm going to share a Padlet with you that looks kind of like this. And this is going to be a site that will house a lot of resources for K-5 math. So you don't have to weed through everything else. Everything you need will be right here. And in particular for today, we're going to focus on the Envision alignment tool. So I'm just going to hop on over to the Padlet and show you the alignment tool, and then give you some suggestions for how to use it in planning to teach your math lessons. So let me get on over there. And Stephen, let me know if we're still okay.
You're looking great.
Okay, awesome. So this is the Padlet I created for you. And let's just talk about it real briefly. So over in this section, this little purple is where you can find all my contact info. So my email, I'll probably add my phone number there as well, my office hours, and down here where you see this click here to join, this is the link that will take you into the office. And you know, if you go there in times outside 3:30 to 4:30, I may not be in my office. I might be out doing something else. But if you contact me by email or text me once that phone number's in there, then you'll be able to come here and go into that room, and I'll be able to help you out. Okay. And then down below there, we're looking at the first column in the Padlet. Down below, you'll see some blue rectangles, and that's where I'm going to post all the videos that I put in the learning channel. So today's session will be on there. After that gets on there, and you can see the one that's already on there we did last week. It was called Envision Math Magic, and that's where I showed all sorts of resources that are in your Envision that help you with the math workshop approach. All right, so now let's get into the part we're going to focus on today, which is the math, the Envision Math alignment tool. So I'm going to show you how to find all the lessons and resources you need when you are teaching your specific standards. So um, as we scroll across, you can see the green and the yellow bands, and there's one for each grade level. And so far, I just wanted to keep it simple. So I put in Unit 3, but I want you to know that Unit 4 is already done. Unit 5 is in the works, and we'll continue to add units till the end of the year so that you'll have what you need when you need it. And then we'll go back and we'll put in 1 and 2 and put it all in nice order. So at the beginning of next year, you have exactly what you need. All right, so we're going to pop open. Let's just do grade 1 because it's kind of in the middle there. So when I click on this, it's fetching. I love that word, fetching.
Mm-hmm.
Fetching my file. All right, and so you'll see up here that it brings up a document that you can download. When you download it, it's going to be a Word doc, which means because it's a planning tool, you can edit it. I'm not going to open it right now. I'm just going to keep it in this view for you. And just notice that there are 3 columns. Now, I want to give you a little backstory about how this was created. So I'm going to go to your teacher backpack. And here's first grade. And over here. And everything's still okay, Stephen?
Yes, looking good. You're on our awesome teacher backpack.
I know, this probably looks very familiar to you. And so what I did was I opened up your curriculum framework, and this is awesome, awesome, awesome. And so this grade 1, and I see all the units here, and we're looking at Unit 3. So when I opened that up, I came to this and I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much here, so much helpful stuff. This unit story is awesome. This is awesome. I mean, what more could you ask for? Well, I'll tell you what. When we come down here and we look at our standards, we see some are highlighted in yellow, some are in red. I know this looks very familiar to you. You'll see some that are with strikeout on them, like right here. Okay, so I had to really wrap my head around this, and what I did was I thought, okay, we need to know where these standards are taught in Envision Math. So let me go back to, okay, I have so many tabs open. I think it would be probably,
And while you're finding your tab, I just want to say it is great that you have actually, Savvis is a company not part of JCPS, and you've actually gone and looked at our standards and made sure that what we are using with Savvis aligns with our standards and kind of doing some of that work already for the teachers, which is great.
I lost my Padlet is the thing, and I think it would be on there. So let me go to my Padlet.
You're fine.
Again. Okay, there. Okay, and let me open this up again. There we go. See how easy it is to get to this? And I would just, if you're, when you use this, I would just bookmark this so that it comes up. You saw how easy I got to it. Okay, so here we are. Oops, that's kindergarten. We don't want to do kindergarten. Let's keep it in first grade because we've already started talking about first grade. Okay, so here's first grade. And as I scroll down, I want you to look at the first column. So you see there are the same standards that are in your document right here. They're highlighted the same way. And I just want to point out the red are your essential standards. And by that, we mean these standards have endurance, they have leverage, and they have readiness for the next level of learning. And then the yellow ones that you see are, of course, your fluency strategies. And fluency standards are also, they're also essential. And by fluency, we mean the students are going to be working with numbers in ways that are flexible, accurate, efficient, and appropriate. Okay, so you see everything's mashed up. And then I even I put your strike through in there as well. There's one of them in here somewhere, I think. Where is it? I thought there was one down toward the bottom, maybe. Here we go. We're getting there. Oh, no, I don't see. Oh, there it is. Okay. It was in white. I was looking for it to be in red. So this part is not used. All right. So I want you to pay attention to that, because the second column is where you go to see your corresponding lessons in vision. And there's a note at the top that, I could have listed all the resources that go with this standard, like all the videos, all the games, all the STEM projects, but it would be too lengthy, and this document would be like, when the credit card thing folds out crazy. So instead, I put the lessons and then this note to you that inside these lessons are embedded and are customizable. You have videos, you have the videos are instructional. There are even videos that parents could look at to get a feel for the mathematics. There are formative assessments, there's summative assessments, there's learning based activities, games, digital tools. I mean, I could go on and on with the resources. So, what you're going to notice is that you have these lessons. So, like, let's just look at this first standard that's listed: understand subtraction as unknown add-in problem. So, it over here, it tells you that topic 2, specifically lesson 2.7, has think addition to subtract. In topic 4, you have, which is topic 4 is about subtraction facts to 20. And then specifically, you can see that there are 4 lessons that deal with this specific standard. And then there's even down here at the bottom, in Envision, at the end of every grade level, there's a step up to the next grade. So this is grade 1 we're in, and it's telling you that if you go back to grade K, in the last topic, step up to grade 1, there is a lesson where they're teaching the children how to think addition to subtract. So if you feel like you have some students who maybe need to go back a little bit to get it at an easier level, you can use that as well. So I stuck those in there too, even though it's not in your grade level, you can go back a step. Now, as we go through, keep in mind this is Unit 3, first grade. And the as I scroll down, you'll see it started with topic 2, then it said topic 4, then it goes back to topic 2, and it picks up lessons that actually came before 2.7, and then 3.3, and you have all these lessons in topic 3, and then it goes back to 4, and then to 5, and then you even have, there was 1 in 7, but notice there's a strike through because, and there's a strike through down here with 8.2, and that's because that it matches. So I didn't want to exclude just because you had a strike through. I wanted to include that so you know that there is stuff there. And what you'll probably notice, and so far, and I've gone through 3 units at each grade level, and what I'm finding out is that there is a match for everything in Envision, and that your standards were really easy to work with and so easy to find stuff in Envision. And here it is right for you. Now, you might be thinking, why does it jump around from topic to topic? Well, that's because over here in the first column, you're just listing your standards, and I just put them in the same order that they appeared in your units. But when when you go to plan, you're going to look and see there's probably some overlap, or there's things that you need to logistically order in a different way. For example, you're going to work with 1 to 10 before you go all the way to 20 when you're working with subtraction or addition and subtraction strategies. You're going to work with up to 10, and then you're going to move on from 1 to 20. So if you look at this, topic 2 is adding and subtracting within 10. Topic 3 is addition facts to 20 using strategies. And then topic 4 is subtraction facts to 20. And then topic 5 is probably both of them together, I'm guessing. Excuse me. Yes, work with addition and subtraction. And then it works with equations specifically because over here, that essential standard is about equations. And then you have the other ones down here at the bottom. Okay. So when you're planning, you're going to think in terms of what would I need to do first, second, third? How would it make sense to put this together? Okay. And then this last column, I really this is especially why I wanted this to be a Word document for you, is because you're going to want to take some planning notes. You might want to cut and paste the lessons over here that you want to use. You might want to answer these questions. These are some awesome questions that I worked with Samantha and Andrea to come up with these questions. And then they're just basically questions that you think about when you are going to plan a unit or a lesson. So I'm not going to go through all those questions here, but I want you to know they're here. And then you have all this space below here. So like I would pick the questions you're going to answer, put your answers right on there, and then use all this space down here to put any other notes in that you want. This is a planning tool. It is your planning tool.
That is a great planning tool. That's really going to help our teachers because it's the one thing. And like you talked about the teacher backpack, that's kind of what we wanted to do with the teacher backpack is get all those resources and things in one place. And so it's so nice to have in one place. Here's what you have to teach. Here's how you teach it, and here's how you can use Savvis to teach it, especially using technology in Savvis. So great.
Yes, and like I said, right now, this is where they are. But to be honest with you, they might be even more accessible to you at a later date in some other location. So you'll want to keep tuned to where that's, where they're moving. But right now, they're here on this Padlet. And I'm hoping that someone can put this Padlet address in the chat. And then it's probably, I don't know, there's probably a way to put it at the bottom of the
If actually to put links in the chat, I need to do that on my end. So if someone can email me that link and to
Okay.
Stephen.Durham at Jefferson County address, and I will put that in the chat for everybody.
Okay, and maybe, I don't know, Chris is on here. He's maybe able to do that too. I think I sent you that link, Chris, but if I didn't, oh no. Okay. All right, so I want to hop back and just talk about a little bit more about how to use this with planning. And so let me go back to my slides here. Okay, are we still okay?
Yep, we're on the your Padlet.
Okay.
If you dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney.
Okay, you can see it. All right, so this is you know how this ends, right? Failing to plan is planning to fail. So I want you to succeed. So I want to help you as much as I can with the planning. And by the way, you guys can always contact me, individual teachers, groups of teachers, administrative people. Reach out to me and ask for help. I can do little mini PDs for you. I can work one-on-one with people. I can help you with your planning, whatever it is you need. All right, but here, when you're looking at the unit level, these are some of the questions, by the way, that are in that alignment tool. But I kind of broke them out to think about it, the big picture and then the little day-to-day picture. So overall, you want to think, what are the essential questions? How will I assess? How will I assess and build prior knowledge? Because that's a little bit different. When I say how will I assess, that's speaking to how will I know that they have mastered what they need to know, do, and understand. And then down there on the fourth one, how will I order and scaffold the learning? So that's kind of like what lessons in Envision would I use and in what order would I use them? And even what parts of the lesson would I use? Okay, and then here's real important. How will I partner with parents? And in just a second, I'm going to show you a really good um, resource within Envision where you can find answers to all these questions. And then when you look at the lesson level, you're going to think, what's the essential question? What's the I can statement that students need to be able to answer and be able to do? How and when will you assess? And when you're at the lesson level, it's probably more of formative assessment that you're doing. So, what will I use within Envision to give a formative assessment, and how will I give it? How will I assess and build prior knowledge? And by the way, I just want to keep repeating that the answers to these questions are going to be in your teacher edition online with Envision. What are common misconceptions students might have? Where are they going to struggle in this lesson? How will I order and scaffold the learning? What resources in the Envision lesson will I use? What are my synchronous and asynchronous options? So, of those resources I decide to use, am I going to have students doing it on their time where they're away from me? Will they be doing it in a group together? Will I be leading the group? Will I be leading a small group with these options? So you have some choices around that. What tools and strategies do I want students to be using? Remember, the ones that are doing the math are the ones that are learning it. So if you're doing all of this for the students, they're not going to be learning. You'll be learning. You'll really be deepening your understanding of math. But you want the students to. So really focus on what tools and strategies within the resources do I want the students to be using. How and why will I group students? So there's lots of reasons why you group students and when you do it for the most effective results. So you have to think about that. How will I have students practice what they learn? And here again, how will I partner with parents? So I want to just kind of show you um, in your Realize platform, when you go to your content, let's see, we went first grade. Let's just stay where we are. And let's look at, so this is like your overall thing. And let me just go to, let's say topic 4, because we were looking at topic 4 before. Subtraction facts to 20, use strategies. When I open this up, notice that I have a lot of support. I would definitely watch these professional development videos. They're really very short, okay? They're not going to be long. Look at those. And then just scroll through and see, okay, look at all these things I have. Oh, there's where my lessons start. And I can kind of tell by the title what's going to be in them. But I can also notice I can customize, and under info, it's going to show me those standards. And if it says more, that means it's really going to deal with some more. Okay. All right. And then what I want to show you is where you're really going to find a lot of support to teach a lesson. Or wait a minute, we're at the beginning. We're in a lesson. So let me just show you what you see when you look at a lesson. Let's say we're going to do lesson 4.3, I think is one. So when you open this up and you open your teacher's edition, it'll open in another window. You'll still have the other window open. If you can still see my screen at the top, you see I have 2 Savas tabs. Okay, and I'm going to make this, no, I'm not going to do that because then it won't be big enough for you to see. But for each lesson, the very first page in your teacher edition gives you, I hope you can see over on the left, your focus, coherence, and rigor.
Yeah, we can see them.
Okay, so it's gonna help you out there. But what I really want to show you is the support you have while you're teaching the lesson and while you're planning it is over on the side, over here down the left side. You have lots of teacher notes, and you usually have them at the bottom too. So like this part of the lesson is the solve and share. it would be your problem-based learning experience. And so it tells you how to prepare them for it, what to do during it, observing the students at work. And then you'll probably notice there's some questions in Blueprint. These are great questions to start with to get students engaged with the math, to help them think about it when they get stuck, and even to stretch their thinking when they feel like they've got it done and you're still waiting around for the other kids to finish. You have some stuff to extend it with, which I always appreciate, because when kids don't have something to do, they find something to do. And here you have analyze student work. This even shows you what you might expect at different levels of understanding in student work. So really like that, okay? And then I could keep flipping, but I think you get the point, is that most of what you have here is everything you teach, you're going to have teacher notes for it, okay? All right, so I want to hop back here.
And just, I know some teachers might, when they see that, go, where do I find that if they haven't used it before? And basically, teachers, in order to get there, just need to go through Clever. They go to their JCPS quick links, go to Clever, and then look for the Easy Bridge sign on, and they use their JCPS sign in, and that gets them to their Savvis account. And then that's where everything is located. Students are just going to see these lessons after they are added to their Google Classroom.
Okay, and so I just wanted to put this up again to remind you to contact me. So there you go. This was a brief look at the Envision alignment tool and some basic suggestions on how to make it work for you. And I know you have more questions, so please reach out. I'm happy to help individual teachers, groups, like I said before, and you can find all the information to contact me on that Padlet. But just so you know, my email is linda.cortez@savvis.com. And those office hours are Tuesday and Thursday, 3:30 to 4:30. I hope you pop in and visit me, ask your questions, just get to know me, and I would love to help you out. Thank you so much. And thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Linda. You did a great job. I love seeing all the work that you and the Savvis team have done to help support our teachers. And I also really appreciate that you guys are always willing to set up office hours to help our teachers, whether they're having technical issues getting into their accounts. I know Laura's helped out a lot of teachers with that. And it's great that we have you, if we have math questions, that we can get support on that as well. So thank you. All right, let's take a look.
Welcome. Thank you.
Let's take a look at our schedule for today. So today is Wednesday, January 13th, and we just looked. That was Linda taking us through how to use Envision Math to work with students K through 5. And next up, we're going to have Power Up Ready Gen for English Language K through 5 with Bernita and Robin. So let's see if Bernita and Robin, actually, Bernita and Robin, you just get ready to go. We have 2 more minutes, and we're going to take a look over at our Twitter hashtag JCPSDigIn, and see what's going on with our Twitter hashtags. So Elaine Abanatha is sharing out all the Savvis trainings we have for today. Again, we'll have Savvis all day today. I'm sorry, not all day today, all this morning. And then in the afternoon, we'll have some different programming as well. If you're with us live, you can post any questions in the chat. We have a Savvis team standing by to answer those questions. Here's a Spiro opportunity. If your school wants to get some Spiro robots, which are super cool, and the students can program those with code. Very cool. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, JCPS is getting Girls Who Game started. Matthew Balka, who leads our esports, is also helping get Girls Who Game started. So we're very excited about that. And this is for girls in 4th through 8th grade. So if you're interested in that, please let us know, and we will help get you started with that. Then the Savvis program and some more Girls Who Game action. Yes. And then I believe this Friday we have Caitlin Tucker is presenting a PD. So, and it looks like asynchronous versus synchronous, how to design for each type of learning, which will be great. So I'm excited about that. I'll be there. If you have an opportunity, you might want to check that out as well. So let's head back over to our Hangout and see if I have Bernita and Robin ready to go. Hi, Robin.
How are you? Here. This is Robin. How are you?
Good, Robin. How are you? So I'm Stephen Durham with the JCPS Digital Innovation Team. Looks like you already have your closed captioning on, so good job with that. So, Robin.
Screen. My question is the screen. Do you see the screen? Okay.
I see the screen and I see closed captions, so you're good to go. Thank you.
All right. So, that's good. I'm happy about that, Mr. Stephen.
So I have to know, where are you at? Are you also another Alabama person? I know our Savas support are spread all over the country.
I am Michigan.
Michigan. All right. Very good.
Yes. It's very cold here today. It's like 29 degrees.
Wow. So are you neighbors with Laura?
I am not far from Laura. Laura is, I believe, in Illinois.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's Chicago. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I forgot. Yes. I actually grew up Fort Wayne, Indiana, up there, northern part of Indiana. So yes. Go to the lake up there in Angola, Indiana, and sometimes hop over to Michigan. So yes, I grew up there by it. Yes. All right. So
it's really cold.
Yes. I do miss the snow. We just get sleet here usually.
Okay. That's great. Well, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. It's 9:01. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ready Gen Power Up. My name is Robin Talbot Porter, and my co-presenter will be Ms. Benita Mosley. Today's agenda. We're housing a office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 3:30 and 4:30. And here you'll have an opportunity to meet with us and we can discuss the bells and whistles of MyView and ReadyGen. In addition to our office hours, our email addresses are listed below. And please, if you have any questions about the tools and resources that are available in either of these programs, give us a call, give us an email, give us a shout out. We'd love to hear from you. So our agenda today, we're going to take a look at the patented resources that were created to support your JCPS framework. You'll have an opportunity to look at ways to navigate the Savas Realize platform and to customize content and to create playlists. Your learning goals. Today, I would like you to focus on alignment, on navigation, and on customizing, aligning the resources to ReadyGen, navigating the Savas Realize platform, and customizing by adding content and the creation of playlists. So before we can begin all of that navigating and looking at the various tools, I want to share with you the patented resources for K through 5.
And Robin, I'm going to post those right now in the chat for you.
I appreciate that, Stephen. Here we're looking at the resources K through 5 for both MyView Literacy and ReadyGen. We're looking at the way in which the modules are laid out. In addition, we're looking at some digital click path supports for you. And if you haven't done so already, a way in which you can add your products by way of your Clever and your Easy Bridge. I'm going to now drill down into a module 3 example of what those formative assessment pieces and those book pairings look like. And what I want you to keep in mind is that the book pairings are designed to support your broader topics at your grade level, as well as your compelling questions. We're going to take a look at an example for ReadyGen for Module 3 of the book pairings. We're looking at second grade. And once you open the Padlet and you drill down the page, there are some things that I'd like to point out. Here, we're looking at the assessment resources that are available in the program. We're looking at the units and the themes. We're looking at the broader topics and the compelling questions, and there is an alignment between our units study, ReadyGen, and your framework. But what I want to truly draw your attention to is that we are looking at an example at grade 2, module 3. The broader topic is history of the earth, and the compelling questions are listed below. Keep in mind that every book pairing or every selection that we made will address 2 or more of those compelling questions. What I want to really draw your attention to is the format. Here we're looking at the title, the author, the lexile, the genre, and the location of the text that has been selected. In looking at this text, we notice that the title is in blue and that it is a shared reading opportunity. The location of this selection can be found at grade 4, unit 1, module 8, and it is an anchor text. I'd like to show us an example of what a formative piece would look like as well, keeping in mind that the same format of these documents are available in grades K through 5. We're going to drill down to the compelling question and the broader topics, and we're going to look at the way in which the formative pieces have been aligned. Keep in mind that the titles will always be in the first column. The item focus or the standard that is being addressed will come next, and here we're looking at key ideas and details. The location of the text will always be in the next column. And this is what I really feel is very important for you to note, is that there are formative assessment resources. Here we're looking at vocabulary, the Reader's Writer's Journal, and some discussion questions that will give you the formative assessment data that you will need in order to determine your next teaching steps. We're going to look at an example of the Padlet for grades 3 through 5. For module 3, here we're just going to look at, again, the format. We're going to begin with the e-text. And what I want you to note again is that format, the compelling questions and the broader topics on into the title, the author, lexile, guided reading, genre, and location. In addition, we're going to take a look now at a formative assessment piece at 3 through 5. Keeping in mind that it will also follow that same format as K through 2. Compelling questions, broader topics, title, item focus, standard, location, and informal assessment resources will always be a part of that. Just scrolling across again, we have the navigation pieces, our office hours, and adding products. Next, we're going to take an opportunity to navigate to the Status Realized platform. And here you'll be able to look at the various resources as well as ways in which we can search for items that we may be looking for. Once you have logged in by way of your Clever and onto your Easy Bridge, you will come to the sign-in page. You will need to sign in, add your username and password. Once in, you will land on the dashboard, and here you will notice that there are various tabs that go across the top of this dashboard. There's the Browse, the Classes, the Data, the My Library, the Search button, the Notifications, the question mark, and the Person. If you tap Browse, it will bring up all of the items that you have, all of the programs that you have in your dashboard. You can organize these by grade, by subject, or by favorite. Next is the classes. Any classes that you have created will appear here. You can look at various assignments, either by class or by student. It will also bring up average scores. There is a calendar view that provides you with a look of what has been assigned and what might be due. There is a discussion prompt that can be created and sent out to students to engage them in discussion. You give it a title, you add the prompt, make sure that you hit save. Students and groups gives you information about usernames, and if you wish, you can set a generic password. You can also create subgroups, such as I have done here for intervention. Class settings is where you go to create. Now, keep in mind that you create your assignments on the Savvis Realize side, and that the Google side consists of your rosters, okay? So you have your class name, you can give it a picture, you can add products, you can give it a theme, but make sure you hit save. Data, anything that's given online by way of assessment, you can view scores. You can look at completion rates and progress. Here we're looking at a Unit 1, Week 1 progress checkup that was given online. Here are the results of my students and their scores, and it tells me their status. Next is my library. This is an important tab for you. Here you can create content by uploading a file, adding a link, building a test, or creating a playlist. Here is where all of the things that you've created will be housed. I'm just pulling up a playlist for grade 3, Jefferson County. And here you can select all items that are on this playlist, or you can just select individual items. The next icon is the search button. Here is where you will search for titles of books or other items such as graphic organizers. Once you do so, you will see that it will bring up what you have placed into the search bar. Here we're looking at an e-text selection. You can assign this selection, you can add it to your playlist, or you can get additional information such as author or guided reading scores. Next is the notification button. This will alert you when there are new notifications on the Savvis Realize platform. Here is the question mark, and whenever you have questions outside of contacting Bernita and myself, please feel free to use the question mark. You can get help for this page, program training, technical support, or contact a program specialist. And looking at program training, you type in the name of your program, which is ReadyGen, you hit search, you go down to 2016 on-demand training, and here you will see that there are a wealth of resources designed for you to view at your own leisure. Under additional resources, there is a digital support letter for parents available in both Spanish and English. Next is the person. This is you. Here you will see that in the settings is your personal information as well as account linking for your Google Classroom. Also in this tab is My Programs. My Programs is a way in which you can add classes to your existing class, or products. Here, if you are a third grade teacher and you wish to add second or fourth grade, this is where you do it. You click the box and you hit save. Next, I'm going to drill down into a particular grade level because I want to show you how the tabs change. We're going to look at grade 4. Here are resources, standards, level readers, e-text, and tools. If I click my resources, it brings up every resource that's available to me. It's a little bit overwhelming. So if you're looking for something in particular, you're going to have to search and filter. If you're looking for comprehension skills, you can filter and it will bring up items that are there. Text features, you can filter if you're looking for a map and globe, and it will show you the items that are available. Okay, that's the Spanish version. Standards.
Which is great that there's Spanish versions available. That's excellent. Yes, we have so many.
Lots of
yes.
Lots of Spanish. Mm-hmm. Here are the ReadyGen standards, and these are listed by the particular areas of focus. You just unlock the arrows and it will drop down for you. Level readers. You all are a guided reading district and looking for and searching for level readers, you just click the arrow on the side. Here you have some endpoints that you can search between. Here I'm searching between level readers C and E. It will bring up the ones that are available for level C and E. And as you can see, there are quite a few of them. Next are the e-texts, and these are important because you will notice that Bernita and myself have referenced selections from the text collection. We've referenced the teacher's guide, Sleuth, and the Scaffolding Strategies Handbook. And finally, there are some tools, there are some videos, and some additional text that you can view at your leisure. Next, I'm going to scroll down the table of contents, and in doing so, you will notice that there's a distance learning tab, the teacher's guide, the Scaffolding Strategies Handbook, which is critical for those anchor and supporting texts, unit selections, independent reading activities, and assessments. In addition to this side of the table of contents, you can also upload a file, add a link, or build a test. And those things will be housed in my library. And finally, the teacher resource tab. There are some items there as well, such as Envision animations, grammar jammers, and additional resources. Keep in mind that some of these things are referenced in the formative assessment pieces, so make sure that you take time to view them. Next, I'm going to have to turn it over to Miss Bernita so that she can show us how to create and how to customize.
Thank you, Robin, very much. Let me turn on closed caption here.
You got it. I can see your screen, and the closed captioning didn't take for some reason. Hit present again. Let's make sure we allow. There you go. Come on down to the CC captions.
Okay.
Click there, and then you want to click allow up in the top left. Google wants to access to your microphone. You're welcome. All good now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
So teachers, you have made your selection from the book pairing or formative assessments that Robin has just referenced. So you've selected a book. If you have selected perhaps from first grade change makers, which aligns with contributing to my communities or meeting community members' needs, then you need to have the location, know the location to where to find it. So if you look at the last column on the right, you'll see that this book is located in Ready Gen, Grade 2, Unit 3, Module B. If you have selected a text from the level e-text library for grades 3 through 5, you will have another location. For example, the book is Back of the Bus. It addresses the broader topic of analyzing literature. How does an awareness about other cultures and experiences broaden our stories? So you'll find that book in the Realize platform, grade 3, unit 4, module A, in a book called Text Collection. So we have pulled resources from varying locations. We got some things from the teacher guide, from a companion book called Scaffolding Strategies Handbook, from a magazine type 2-page articles called Sleuth, and from another companion book called Text Collection, which houses poems, biographies, and excerpts from other stories. So you'll have many places to pull resources. But most importantly, in Ready Gen, students read with an opportunity to write. Students write in response to their reading. So at each grade level, every student has access to a digital readers and writers journal where they can put their responses on the platform. Teachers, your responses, the answers are found in the teacher guide at each grade level. So to explore a teacher guide, there are units. Our teacher guide unit is divided into half. First half of the book is called Module A. Last half of the book is called Module B, with 6 units being for grades K through 2 and 4 units for grades 3 through 6. Once you open the teacher guide, you will come across these particular pages. The first in the upper left-hand corner is Module A, that means you're in the first half of the book. Teach some lessons, and then you'll get to Module B, but know that Module A and B are tied to themes called Understanding Communities, which aligns with some of the broader topics in the JCPS curriculum frameworks. So we have selected texts, and I just want to make sure you are able to locate these varying texts. In the upper left-hand corner, we've asked you to go to anchor texts. Anchor texts are simply books that are read over the course of several days. To the right of that, you'll be asked to go to the text collection, which is a supporting text within the unit. And you will see an orange arrow coming from that text collection that says the story is housed in this book. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will have a small magazine called Sleuth, full of informative and literary text. Excellent read, 2 pages on level text and audio available for those as well. But most importantly, we have pulled a number of books from the bottom right-hand corner entitled Level Text Library. There are actually 60 level texts at each grade level, and we have selected the ones that pairs nicely with the JCPS curriculum frameworks. Don't be confused. Library is where all of the digital level texts are housed. When we ask you to pull one of them, we'll call it either level reader or level e-text. Look for the word level, and we'll show you momentarily how to locate these level readers. Now, here's some locations that I just want to share. I probably share several locations. When you go into the Padlet and you'll look in the location column, these are the locations that you'll be asked to go to. So to find a text collection, click on Browse Top Center, select the Ready Gen grade level book, which is 3, select the unit, which is 4, the module A, and then that'll take you straight to the text collection. If you're asked to go and just find the book on the Savage Realized platform, for example, Changemakers, you'll browse Topper Center, click on the grade level book, grade level 2 for Ready Gen, select unit 3, module B. Not only will you find that book there, but you'll find the companion book, Scaffolded Strategies Handbook, as well. We like for the students to have an opportunity to respond to their reading in the Readers and Writers Journal. Again, browse Top Center, select the grade level text 3, unit 3, module B. There are a host of lessons at each grade level. For grades K through 2, there are 13 different lessons. And at the bottom of each one of the lessons, you'll see the Readers and Writers Journal. So it's time for me now to go on the platform to show you some of where these resources are located. So I have logged in. Again, you can utilize Clever, EasyBridge, sign in EasyBridge, which will land you on this homepage of Savage Realized.
Yeah,
So
Bernita, can I interrupt for 1 second just to go over to make sure our teachers are clear on how to access this? So on their Chrome browser, they're going to have JCPS quick links, and they just click on that, go to Clever, and then what you're looking for is going to say Savvis EasyBridge is what they're going to look for. They click on that, and then they just use their JCPS Google sign-in, and that will take them right to this.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for clarifying that. So the very first thing I like to do is to browse for several of the level readers that have been suggested. So I'm just going to click on Browse Top Center. The icon is always at the top of the page, but I just like to get off the landing page. So if I just want to look up a book, All Kinds of Weather, that has been recommended for kindergarten, I would just type it in the search button, click search. The book will come up. And here is where you will see a level reader, All Kinds of Weather, which I can assign and add to a playlist. I can also get additional information. So again, this is one of the shortest paths to get to all of the level readers that have been suggested for you. The next thing I like to do is to go back to Browse Now. I'm ready to go to the text entitled Back of the Bus. It is located in Ready Gen for grade 3. So I'm scrolling down. So we have Ready Gen level 3. It is located in unit 4. It's also located in module A. Very easy to navigate the platform. But this book is found in the text collection. So what I want to do is to click on text collection. It will open in a new window. Back of the Bus. I know that in the directions for location, we told you that it was located in volume 2. So sometimes it'll take a moment to load. In the upper right-hand corner, there is a menu icon. Click on it. You are able to do several things, and I can't cover all this morning, but this is where you can look at the pages in the text and table of content. bookmark certain pages. If you're studying something and it addresses an item of focus skill in the standard, you highlight it on that page and it will turn blue at the top. You can annotate and highlight, and then there's a notebook where you can add additional notes for yourself. So let me close this out and just show you where the book will appear. So again, Back of the Bus appears in volume 2. So the file is currently closed. When you see it gray turning to the right. To open the file, you just click to the right and it has a blue drop down arrow. Remembering earlier, I said that this text was located in Unit 4. So I want to click on Unit 4 to open it up. And here's where you get to the back of the bus. The audio feature, and I'm not sure you'll be able to hear, but I'm going to pause for just a moment to click this button. Back of the bus by Aaron Lewis, illustrated by Floyd. So thank you. So I just want to show you every book that we have. Most of the books, I think 99%, if not 100, have the audio feature so that for asynchronous and synchronous learning opportunity, students can listen to the stories with you, ahead of you, as you go through your instructions. So what I want to do is close this tab and I want to exit back. The next location that I would like to go to is for the text entitled Change Makers. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just enter in, there is this drop down arrow here. I want to go to Ready Gen. So my books are in order here for grade level 2. It is found in Unit 3 and Module B. While I'm on this page, you can see that there are 2 titles of change makers, which I'll address in just a moment. But we've also suggested some locations for the other areas. The Scaffolded Strategies Handbook is here. The text collection for this grade level is here. The Sleuth is here. So when you land on this particular page, you have access to the varying locations that we suggested. What I'd like to do is just share with you that there are 2 types of change makers. One that has an interactive feature, which is noted here. And I'll show you the interactive features in just a moment. But what I want to show you is that you can assign open option and assign this text, also add it to your playlist as well. But you need to explore the suggestion first. So what I want to do is just go ahead and open the text. It will open in a new tab at the top of the page. You have the cover of the book. But once again, you want to open the menu. Just as before, you have table of contents, bookmarks, annotations, and notebook. If you want, I'm going to open this book, but I want to show you, I have already bookmarked some pages because I've studied it and I just want to go to those. You have annotations and highlights. So if you ask your students to annotate and highlight as a summary, you can just simply, when you go to their students' work, you can see all that they've annotated in accordance to your directions on Google Classroom. The notebook, if I want to write myself some notes regarding the item focus field found in the standards, I will type it in so that I can quickly reference it during instructions. So I'm going to close it now. I'm going to open the table of contents up, and here is the book. So I'm going to go to page 4. The author made a claim. This is in accordance with the item focus field. He says, item ideas plus actions equal a change. So this is the item focus field that I'll be addressing while working with this particular text. And showing you, I'm now going to skip over to page 6, where there's one character here called Kevin Doe. And so again, the audio features are available. Now I'm going to go to page 9, where I've already, during my studying, have highlighted certain things. I've highlighted the idea in one color. I've highlighted the action in another, and the change in one color. So you can have your students to do this on the Google Classroom side of the lesson. So it's available here. So annotations, let me just close this. If I want my students just to highlight, they just simply go across some of the words. And you notice here, there's a box. So for example, if I wanted them to identify a sentence that talks about what was it that he changed. So I have highlighted here, it will just come here and it will highlight the words. So I have underlined, so let me just click again. Let me go to a different one. Let's see what's going to happen. So again, I'm sorry, you can highlight, circle, underline any one of the texts that you want. And also the students can type your note in the annotations, and the only thing they have to do is just save it for you. So let me leave this, and I need to get back to the Savage Realize platform because I need to quickly, I'm exiting back. Now I want to assign this book and add it to the playlist. So I'm going to click on Options, Assign. The title of the book already appears. The start date, I can just click the 13th. The end date, I can just put it a week out. Type in my instructions, edit or assign it to a group of students or individual students. Now you can see in my listing here, ReadyGen has been already synced with Google Classroom. Click on it, and then I will assign it. I can also just click on some other things, text collection. I'm just going to click on something. I want to add this to my playlist because I'm going to utilize it quite a bit. So not only can I assign it in Google, I can add it to my playlist. What's my playlist? Playlists are a collection of the resources that I utilize to doing instruction. So that text collection, the title is already there. Do I want to create a title of a playlist or add it to something existing? So to create, just simply click on the title. So we've been working with modules. So you can see all the varying module titles that I have up. In fact, I have a title for this week, which has already been created. But if you want to create a title, that's where you go. But now I just want to assign it to one that is existing. And so I'm just going to click on module. And this is the week of the 11th. So I'm just going to click on it and here click on add. So I'm going to close this out. And you're asking, where are my playlists? Where are all the items in my playlist? You just simply click on my library. And all the content that you have put in your library will show up. And if I open one of the playlists, if I just open one of them, I can, suppose I had 10 items here. I can assign all 10 or just click on one at a time to assign it out to the students. Now let me go to the Google Classroom side of this. I'm now a student and I'm now looking at my daily activities in Google Classroom. So I'm going to click on ReadyGen demonstration class. And I'm going to just quickly go to classwork. And I am going to select the work for ReadyGen Changemakers. If you'll notice here, I've assigned them to read Changemakers. Here is the book. It will open in a new window. And I just need to sign in as a student. And now you can see that they have the book to read just as I did before. They'll do this. They're able to listen to it via audio because you've assigned it to them. They can do annotations and highlights, circling as has been done previously. So all of this is available for the students in the Google Classroom. So let me just close this out. I'll exit back. And before I close out today, so I just wanted to show you just a little bit in Google Classroom. I want to thank you for this opportunity to power up with ReadyGen, where students can participate in synchronous and asynchronous learning through the I do, we do it together, and you do. Please know that if you're looking for digital text, ReadyGen has 12 full-length digital literary and informational texts available. In addition to that, they have digital level readers or e-text. There are 60 at each grade level, of which some can be easily paired, which we have done with your JCPS curriculum frameworks. During remote learning opportunities, we are hoping to engage students with technology. The Savage Realize platform will enable you to do that. We are grateful for the opportunity to participate in the digital learning channel. Our slot will be on Wednesdays from 9 a.m. through 9:30 a.m. We have upcoming sessions in January. On January 2021, we will be exploring the digital exploration path of MyView. And on January 27th, we will have digital exploration of ReadyGen. We are also, Robin and I are also hosting office hours with MindView and ReadyGen. Any questions you have, any assistance you would like, we are here for you on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 p.m. through 4:30 p.m. The links have been shared with the JCPS, but we meet via Zoom. I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to present to you today. Again, my name is Bernita Mosley. My email address is bernita.mosley@savage.com. My partner is Robin Talbot Porter. She may be contacted via email at robin.talbotporter@savage.com. Please know we are here for you, and we're very grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you, Bernita and Robin. I appreciate that. That was great. I did share the Padlets in the chat, and when we're done with our live sessions this morning, this afternoon, I will work on getting them together, and I will put the Padlet in the information and your office hours as well in that information. So that'll be there with the video. Sure, no problem. All right, bye. Thank you. All right, now we're going to turn it over to Chris Peterson in Alabama, and he is going to take us through Realize Math for grades 6 through 12. How you doing, Chris?
Good, Steve. Thank you for having me this morning and being a terrific host.
Oh, thank you.
Let me present my screen.
Let's see how you do on the Screen Present Closed Caption Challenge. Doing good so far.
And
so you're presenting your screen now. Just go to the tab that you that you have your slide. That's it. We're going to go to this tab that has your slide on it first.
Okay.
So there you go. Now click on Present in the top right by the share.
Okay.
There you go. Now you should be able to get to closed captions.
There we go.
And we are good to go. Take it away, Chris. Thanks.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at playlists today, and we're going to look at it to help you organize and to help you be more efficient in your teaching and in your instruction. And I'm going to show you, I've got a slide right here that'll show you what it's going to look like from your teacher's end. You have your Clever page with the JCPS school system. And when you go to Clever, you're going to look for the icon that says Savvis Easy Bridge. When you get there, it's going to take you to your setup page, and you're going to look for the platform Savvis Realize. So let's do that again. You're going to go to your Clever page, all righty? Then you're going to look for the icon that says Savvis Easy Bridge, and you're looking for the platform that Savvis hosts your program on called Savvis Realize. We have many different platforms, but most of our core programs like the Envision Math is stored on Savvis Realize. So that's the one you're going to go to get set up.
That's great, Chris.
With all of this. Pardon me, sir?
That's great. And if I can add, I think if you right-click on that Clever icon, you can make it a favorite. So it'll be at the top of your Clever page. So if it's something that you access a lot, which hopefully you are, it'll be right there, easy to find every time. Because I know sometimes we have a lot on Clever. But thank you for showing them those steps to get there.
Yes, my pleasure. So if any teachers need help with that, I'm pretty proficient technology-wise, so I'll be glad to help you with that. And I'm going to show you how to get in contact with me towards the end. Let's go and let's look at playlist. What is a playlist? A playlist is a specified set of instructional tools that you can use. They're stored in my library, okay? Up at the top, you have your browse, your classes, and your data that correlate with these three tabs right up here. But then the next one you have is called My Library. And My Library is where anything that you customize or anything you add to your lessons through Realize are stored. So you have them all in here. You can see that we can create our own content, and I'm going to get into that in just a few moments. But we also have customized test playlists, and they're all stored here. So far, I've got 3 playlists that I've created under this user that I've played with and created them. So that's where they're stored, and that's what they do. Now, to create a playlist, simply take the button, create a playlist, and we're going to call this one JCPS Demo. I'm going to give it a date. 1421, and I'm going to create it. So now we've created our playlist. Now it's telling us when we want to add something to this, we're going to actually go to the lesson layout that I'm going to head to in just a moment, and we're going to click add to playlist. It's that simple. Okay, so first of all, we've created a playlist, and now I want to show you where we would go to add it. Okay, I'm going to be a high school algebra teacher today. Algebra 1. All righty, so we're going to go to that program. All righty. And here we see our lesson flow. We call this the program page, okay? The table of contents page. So we're going to go, and you guys, I don't know, I guess you guys are somewhere around exponents and exponential functions probably this time of year. So we're going to go to that topic, okay? We're at the topic level. Now we're going to go into a lesson, and we're going to look at exponential functions today. So here's all the pieces that the teachers have access to within this lesson. Okay, and it goes through and it has practice and videos for the kids and custom differentiation pieces, and then assessment and differentiation pieces also. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and let's say that I've previewed it and I want to add some of these practice pieces and something for the kids to have. So we're going to find the example we want. We're going to click add to playlist. I'm going to select a playlist, and here's what I can do. Start typing, and it automatically populates my playlist that I just created a few moments ago. We're going to choose that one, and then all you simply do is click add, and it tells you one item added to the JCPS demo, and then we could click go to playlist, but I'm going to show you once again how to get to it. Remember, playlists are stored under my library. Playlist, now you see that I have 4 playlists, and here's my JCPS PS demo that I created for this morning. Here it is, and there's that example from that exponent lesson that I just added to it. Right? So that's all you're looking for is when you're going through your lessons in Envision, you're looking for that button that says add to playlist. All righty? That's what we're looking for. One other nice thing when we go back to it. Your buttons over here to edit and rearrange are very beneficial. Let's talk about rearranging. Let's say that you want things in a different order, that your teaching style leads you to a different order of these. Well, simply all you do is click the rearrange button. Now you can take these and you can click and drag it. All righty. If you wanted a math Excel, okay, or an adaptive practice for the kids to try on their own first, simply click it and drag it and put it where you want it. I'm going to drag it all the way up and put it above all the practices right here. Then you scroll down and you're going to click save. Now, the nice thing about this, guys, is that when you do this, okay, you can see that adaptive practice, which is powered by Newton, is now up here above all of these problems. You can always go back and view the original, okay? You can view how Savas had it set up for you by clicking View Original, and now you can see that adaptive practice is no longer here because we're reviewing the original. It's back down here where it started. So you always have the choice over here to view customized or to view the original. So that's always there and nice to match your teaching style, how you want that order, and how you want your lesson flow to go with these resources, okay? Now, the next thing is I want to show you is adding multiple items to a playlist. Let's say that we do want this adaptive practice in the playlist that we've created. Let's say that we do want a couple of examples, okay, into our playlist. I'm simply putting checks in these boxes over to the left for the examples that I want, okay? Let's throw in a math Excel piece, and let's throw in a lesson quiz. Okay. So I want these pieces that I put in the green check mark, okay, to be added. Now you can see over here that I want to add selected to playlist. I can assign these directly to the students by clicking this button, but I want to add them to my playlist. Once again, let's auto-populate it and choose it. And we're going to click add. 6 items added. Let's go look at the playlist now. And guess what, folks? Here we are. Okay? Here's our playlist we've just created from being that creative teacher that you are, and got it ready for your students. All you simply have to do now when you're to this unit and ready to this lesson and ready for your students to work on these parts, okay, is to assign it. But guess what, folks? I'm not done yet. There's more. I don't want this lesson quiz here. I want the lesson quiz, okay? Oh, excuse me. Okay, I want it to be in a different place, okay? Edit. I want to move it down, okay? I want it to be the last piece that they see. So, folks, this is totally customizable to your teaching style. This is nice to have everything right there ready to give to your students, okay? Ready to go and ready to send to them, okay? And I'm going to write myself a note, assign to students week of 01, what was Monday, the 12th, 21, okay? So I'm going to click save. Now I've got it saved. Now guess what? I've got it aligned like I want it. I'm going to click assign all. And here comes my start date. I would have clicked Monday, but since today is Wednesday, I'm going to click then. I'm going to have it due by Friday, or I'll give them until Saturday, okay? And I would find the class up here, okay? And go in, and then my assign button would be live, and I would assign it that way. So, folks, that is the nice way to create a playlist, okay? That is a nice way to create a playlist for your whole lesson, your whole topic that you're going to go through and work with students on. Okay? Now, let's talk about customizing pieces. Let's say that you get to your test for the topic that you're on, and you're ready to go and assign a test, okay? Let's go back to the same piece. Where was I? Exponents, okay? Topic 6. Here we are. We're going to scroll down. Here's all of our lessons we've had, okay? Now we're going to the assessment. And you'll notice that there are many different assessment pieces, all righty? When you're looking for assessments that are going to count toward your data tab, you're looking for this line graph right here. You're looking for that, all righty? Now, when you get there, you can assign it, you can add it to playlist, but folks, you can also customize this and make it your own, okay? It's not under teacher resources. That's where you would find many customizable pieces, all righty? That's where you would find it, okay? And if you wanted to edit it on paper, that's what you're looking for, okay? That piece right there that says editable. But folks, we're looking under the More tab because we want to customize it, okay? We want to customize the digital piece and assign this to them digitally because it's going to grade it automatically for you. Here's all the questions, okay? And it's got the math content Common Core standards over here to the right that you can look at, okay? And if you think this test of 20 questions is too much, okay, let's say you think, yeah, I don't want this question, okay, because it covers it in another standard. I don't want this question because it's covered in another place, the same standard. I don't want this one. Okay, and this one's covered multiple times, so I don't need it either. Okay, all right. So we're gonna take those out and customize it. Okay, we can rearrange the questions by clicking this button. All right, we want this one down here. We want this one up here. This one up higher. Just for some strange reason, done. Okay, and now we're gonna click done on this, and folks, it's going to save this customized version for you. Okay. It's going to save it right here. It's going to say customized. Okay. Right here. It's the same exact test as this. This is the original. It's still there. This is the customized. Okay. Add to playlist. Okay. CPS demo. Okay. Add. And that customized test it's that easy to customize it and then add it to a playlist. The nice thing is, though, when you customize it, guess what? It saves a totally separate copy in your library. Not only is it on your playlist that we've added it to, but you have a totally different copy of it that you've created right here. All righty, so that's there for you. Customizable pieces, adding them to playlist, all the items like that. Okay. One other thing about this, okay, we can upload files into a playlist from your computer. Savvis gives you the capability to do that. You're simply going to go over here, choose a file, attach from your computer, find the file you want, and insert it, and it's going to be into your playlist. Okay. Another great tool we have that takes a little time is we have a tool on our Savvis platform where you can do a search outside of our resources. Okay, we have the capability of doing a search for Mosaic by ACT, which is embedded into our platform. So right now, these results are showing all the pieces from within Savvis programs. Okay, from within Savvis program. But if I click this button, it's going to show me thousands of results. Okay, now the bad thing is it's not separated by grade level. Okay, but it's going to show me thousands of results: videos, games, lesson plan, homework. Okay, tests. All right, anything, assessments. Okay, that you can take and assign to your group. All right, to your students. All right, we'll go with that. Let's say here's a game. It's a middle school game, but I'll go ahead and show you. Assign. JCPS. Okay. Let's give this one to 7th grade. Oh, I got to choose my dates. Today, tomorrow, assign. Okay. And it's been assigned to my 7th grade class. Now, guess what? Since I've assigned it, okay, it's going to be, I can get to it by going into the 7th grade program. Okay. So I could get there by going into it. So that's another nice piece that we have is adding from Mosaic and also adding files from your computer as I showed you. Okay. It's all there. Terrific. So playlists, they're very nice for teachers to use to organize your lessons, to get stuff ready for students to have, to go through their learning process in this virtual time. Synchronous, asynchronous, it's all there. Go ahead and lay it out in this playlist, and it's there for you to have ready for students, your students. Let's go outside of playlists for a moment. Let me talk to you about a couple of things that I've got ready for you. I've gone to your teacher backpacks, okay? And I've looked at your instructional framework. Looking at the instructional framework, the 4 sections of your instruction would be review and focus, guide and engage, explore and apply, synthesize and reflect. I've taken those 4 areas of your instructional framework, and on the Padlet that hopefully, I think Kelly or Linda are monitoring my chat, and they'll put this link in there for you right now. And the password, it has a password, Teachers Rock. All righty. I have taken that instructional framework, and if you'll go to the Math 612 section, the first thing you will see is my flyer where you can always contact me. Okay. I have an email. All right. I have an appointment booking time that I'm available from, what would that be? 8 o'clock your time. I'm on Central Time, but 8 o'clock Eastern until 5 in the afternoon, or after hours if it's better for you. That's the first thing you're going to see. But I've taken those areas of your instructional framework, okay, review and focus, guide and engage. And what I've done is I've created pieces, I've correlated the Envision components from our program to match up with your instructional framework. So this is here for you. If you feel any of your areas of your instructional framework are in this virtual world not matching your standards, what you would like for your students to get, I'm giving you some suggestions, okay, of Envision components that will help your students explore and apply their math learnings, okay? So I've done one. I've done one for AGA, Algebra, Geometry, and Algebra 2. I've also done one for grades 6 through 8 Envision, okay? So those are both there for you. In addition, I've taken the 8 mathematical practices and I've aligned some of our pieces of the Envision math program, how it lends itself to these 8 mathematical practices. So that is all there for you to ramble through and to look at and to get some ideas. Now, the nice thing about this, okay, if you're not that familiar with Envision, I'm happy to help you. And that's where my flyer comes in handy. Because on my flyer, and I think Kelly or Linda are going to put it in the chat right now also, please, you have access to my email. My email is there for you. And you can also book direct meetings with me using my Cloud HQ. I have that there for you also. So anytime that you need help with Envision Math and incorporating it into your virtual instruction, please, please, please feel free to contact me. I'm here for you. This is an introductory Padlet, but I've just gone ahead for all of us on the JCPS Savas team. But I've gone ahead and just put all of my information here where I think Linda for Math K5, and I know Bernita and Robin for ELA K5 have a totally separate Padlet also. But I've got all the information that you need to get started with Envision, I think, and also especially how to get in contact with me here to get in contact with me for any help that you need. All righty, a couple of other pieces right quick since we've got some time. If you're having problems with a program, you can always go to your icon on your Savas Realize and go to Settings, okay? And you can look at your account to see if it's set up correctly, okay? If it's not set up correctly, all right, you can look at it, and then if you have problems, contact me or any of the Savas people, and we'll get help for you. If we don't know how to do it, you can go into your programs to make sure you have the correct programs checked for yourself. And then if you felt like changing your pictures, here it is, and all the grades you teach or whatever like that. That's the first thing I wanted to show you extra. Secondly, Savas has a YouTube channel. Savas has a YouTube channel that has great videos to help you understand the programs and realize, okay? So over here on the Savas Learning search, let's type in Envision and see what we get. Okay, here are some Savas Envision math pieces, K5, 6, 8, talks about the AGA, talks about Envision math added combined with Success Maker. So Savas YouTube channel is a terrific resource for you, okay? It's always there for you. The next thing I wanted to show you is my Savas training. All righty. If you don't have an account here, you're welcome to get one, okay? And it's kind of like a YouTube channel, but it's a little more tricky to get through. But it's there to help you go through and learn about our platform also, about Realize and about Envision and pieces like that. So it's all there for you to go through and learn on your own if you ever have questions. But please, like I said, don't feel hesitant to contact me. I'm here for you. Okay, I love working with teachers, so feel free to totally contact me anytime that you have questions. Steve, I think that's about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. That was some good information. And thanks for those people that are watching live. And then we are going to get this episode cut up and put on our YouTube channel so teachers can watch it when they're able to. So next up, I believe we have Donna. And Donna is going to talk to us about using My Perspectives for grades 9 through 12. Donna, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm well, Steve. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. So where are you coming from? Where are you at right now?
I am the closest to Laura. I am in the south suburbs of Chicago.
Okay, awesome. Very good. All right, so go ahead, get started, and I will help you if you need help getting your closed captions or screen shared or any of that. Just let me know.
Okay, thank you. Start here.
Present, and then, yeah, just turn those closed captioning on. You're good to go. Take it away, Donna.
Is it on? I can't tell my captions.
It is. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Click it again.
Okay, I think I hit it twice.
There you go. Yes.
There we go.
You're good to go.
Okay. Thank you. Well, good morning. I am here today. I'm going to do some digital learning with playlists on My Perspectives. Just a little starter. This is my gorgeous picture. I am here to help out with 6 to 12 My Perspectives. You see my contact information. If you have any questions at all, of course, while you're watching today, you can put it in the chat. But if you're watching this later and a question pops up, feel free to email me about anything. I have that Cloud HQ meeting link that you can use to sign up for longer sessions, 30 minutes for yourself, for a small group. And I know the Padlet that Chris put together for us is right there. We're going to get that in the chat again, I hope. You can always go there and get these links to get a hold of me directly. Here's what we're going to look at today. I'm going to show you a brief review of a couple of the lesson planning tools that I showed last week, but I'm going to show 2 additional ones with the concentration on how do you create your playlist. Once we go through that, I want to show you, and I'm here to challenge you today to get out there and actually make a playlist. Get some content in there, whether it be your own content, which I'll show you, or content directly from My Perspectives from Satis. Once we have a playlist going, I'm going to show you some nice tips and tricks on organizing and assigning. And as long as time allows, I'm hoping to give you a little bit of a teaser into some other features that we have in my library, and of course hope to save some time for questions and to preview that upcoming session. So I can get out of this now and let's go live. So here we are on our home screen at on Satis Realize. Last week I showed you how to use this magnifying glass search tool, which I'm going to save till the end today to show you how something changes a little bit. And then I showed you how to use this browse all content. And I want to take another look at that and point out how this relates to the library and building a playlist. If you recall over here on the left side of the screen, you have these toggles. And what these allow you to do is search more than one program. They're awesome if you want to differentiate your instruction. So say you're a 10th grade teacher, but you also want to see things that are in 11th grade for your students who are maybe a little ahead, and you want to see some things from the 9th grade program for those students who are a little behind. And let's say you're looking for something very broad, like poetry. You would click search, and you're going to get 214 different items from Satis that can all be put into your playlist. How, do you ask? Well, let's take a look at some things here. I don't see assign, I don't see add to playlist, I don't see anything on these. So let's take a look at what some of the things you need to look for. These 3 dots. Now notice in this one I have 3 dots and I have an arrow. So there is a bit of a difference here. This is your hook and aspire. This is a special thing that just the 9th through 12th grade teachers have. This is really more of a teacher tool. And then I have this poetry collection. If I look at the breadcrumbs, I can see this is from Unit 5 of Facing Our Fears. Well, what the arrow means here is that this tile has something underneath it, and that I would need to click on that tile before I would get what I need for adding this to my playlist. This one, however, this is the feature. And if I click on the 3 dots, that's where you're going to see add to playlist. You can get some additional information about what this is, and you have this call out that this is a teacher resource. Versus if I go to the poetry collection and I click on it, these 3 items are in the poetry collection. And you have a choice now to select all 3 of them. You can check on this box and then add all of these to your playlist. Or if I deselect that, you could choose 1 or 2 of these. Say I just want to do the audio summary and the text question. So we're going to read it together. And now I just want these 2 items to go into my playlist. If you know you just want 1, of course you can check these boxes, or you can just click right here where it says add to playlist. I'm going to go back to my home screen. I'm going to show another way to get into your program. I'm going to click browse. I see all of my programs here. You would normally see just the one that you're working on unless you have added these in order to use more than one program as a teaching tool. And I put this back in thumbnail view. If you did watch the video from last week, I explained my brain doesn't like this. I don't like having to go across and down. And a very easy way to change this, if for some reason yours is already switched and why they look different, remember you can always go from thumbnail view to list view. So when I'm in list view, just scrolling down my table of contents, again, you'll notice these arrows on these tiles. Here are all of your Hook and Inspire texts. And here's your clue to know that this is a teacher tool. There's a lock on here. And that means you are the only one who can see that resource. Versus here's the teacher and the student additions, and you could add these to your playlist. I don't recommend it. I don't think you need an entire e-text in your playlist, but you could do that right from here on your table of contents. But the other search tool I wanted to show you is right here above the black line, and it says resources. And you're going to notice at first glance, this looks very, very similar. I could do the same broad subject of poetry. And now look here, I see that Hook and Inspire again from Beowulf. But this time it is only searching my grade 9 text. So if you recall, there were over 200 last time I searched. And I don't quite have that many this time because everything in here is just from the 9th grade, My Perspectives text. Remember over here on the left, you have all these different ways that you can filter this down so that you don't have so many things to look at. But this is going to work the same way. I can add to my playlist right away. If I see an arrow, that means there are more pieces underneath that tile. And then you would want to add these to your playlist individually or as a group. Another way that you can search is while you're here, you can use this magnifying glass. And I only bring it up, I really do like this way searching the best. Because you'll notice this is different from when you go from the landing screen. I have this extra piece down here that says only search this program. And you can check that box and it will, whatever you type in there, it will only search the program that you're in. But if you want extra pieces, if even though you have 100 and some odd different things to look at with poetry in 9th grade, My Perspectives, maybe you want more choices. So you can type into this box and you're going to notice it's going to look the same. It looks the same. I have 475 results. I have now many more programs because I have all my programs on here. It is searching everything now. But what wasn't there before that is this see results from Mosaic. by ACT. And when you click on that bar, now you are using this teacher-vetted, standards-aligned search tool to get even more results about poetry. One thing I will warn you that I warned last week, notice this says kindergarten. This does not know which grade level you're looking for. So it's giving you everything. I have 1,000 results here. So it may be in your interest to use these these different ways to filter, down here on the left side of the screen. The other thing you may notice, I don't see add to playlist here. So I'm going to show you how you're going to add items from Mosaic into your playlist in just a second. The last place I wanted to show you is if you wanted to search directly by standards, you would click on this standards button. Now, don't get freaked out. What do you mean? This is it? There's no standards. This is interactive. You have to click on the arrow for this to open up. And now you're going to get results differently depending on how you navigate through this page. You can see the different areas in the English language arts. If I click on reading literature right now, it's going to give me everything in my perspectives from this grade that is related to reading literature. You could, of course, however, drilled down for more detail by clicking over here. It is a slight difference, but it does make a difference. From here, now I can see the individual standards. And now I can pick a particular reading literature standard, and you'll see all of the different things. I've got 49 results that are somehow directly related. Notice this symbol is for our assessments. So you see this, this little line graph icon, and you see this orange with a check mark. That is the clue that these are assessments. So you can see that we have many, many different types of assessments that are directly linked to that particular standard. But I also see different texts that are related to that standard. So maybe this is a text that you would want to add to your library. So again, by opening it, I could add this to my playlist. I see that this is e-text. I see this little book symbol, so I know what that is. And I see all of these things that go along with that text, add to playlist right along there. So let's take a look at what happens when you hit that. When I open that up, I have this opportunity to select a playlist. And if you already have one made, you would hit that pull down arrow, and you can see the titles of some different playlists that I have made. And you would simply click the one that you want and click add. Or you can create a new playlist from here. So let's see what that looks like. This is where you can go ahead and title it what you want. I was searching for poetry collection, so maybe I want to call it that. I'm just going to put a variety of poems into my poetry collection, and I'm going to say it's for grade 9. And I create my playlist. So now it's telling me that it put it in my playlist, and I have the chance to either go to my playlist or I can close this out. Well, I'm kind of done showing you how to add things by clicking on that, so let's go to playlist. Now notice here, this My Library is open. That's, we keep throwing around this word playlist. All of your playlists are housed in your library. So that's always going to be in this toolbar up here, and you can get to it at any time. And you can see that that item that I just added is right here in my poetry collection, grade 9. But let's go back to what does it look like in my library as a whole. So you'll see I have several things that I have put in my library. You're going to notice that there's some color coding going on. All of my playlists seem to have this fuchsia color. How do I get these other things in here? So once you're in my library, you can always create a playlist right from here. You're going to get that same box that I showed you. But this is why I love my playlists. I was probably a lot like you. I had some of my things on a flash drive or multiple flash drives. I had some things I would make stored on my home computer. I had some things that I needed stored in my school's network, in that, not the cloud, but, on my school server. And then it would come time for me to use that worksheet that I created last year, and I couldn't remember where I put it. And it drove me insane. The beauty of a playlist is that you can put all of these things in one place and be organized. I was always trying to be better organized. And boy, if I had had a tool like this, nothing would have made me happier. So one thing I do bring up when making your playlists, maybe think about a naming convention. Think about how you want it to work, especially right now with distance learning. I know that you guys are assigning Monday to Monday, that the students get their work on a Monday and they have until the following Monday to get it in. Maybe you want to name your playlists by week so that all of the things that you want to assign for that week are right in that playlist. You could use your curriculum frameworks, and you'll notice I kind of started to do that. Here's a grade 7 unit 2, and I put your compelling question right in there. What is the purpose of our past? Maybe you want to separate out, like I did here, your teaching tools from the things that you would actually assign to your students. But the another nice thing I should say is that once you build these playlists, they're going to stay for as long as you're using the Savvis products. It's true of my perspectives or any of the other Savvis products. You will have this for the life of your contract with us. It's not going to poof disappear at the end of the year. So you can use these playlists over and over again. And, if you decide that you don't want something, I'll show you how you can remove these. If you decide, I don't like this particular assignment anymore. So kind of just a side note. But how do you get things in there now? So number one, upload a file. So very easy to pull things from your computer. You can attach things from your Google Drive or your Microsoft OneDrive. Very, very easy. Here's some information. There is a size restriction, but you can put as many things that are within that size restriction in here. If I want this Christmas Carol for 7th grade, I can just click on that and it's going to go right into my library. I'll show you. I should have that right here. Here is my 5 Christmas Carol lesson plans. This is something, a teaching tool for me. This little icon was created. And again, you'll learn the different icons all start to look the same so you can know what kind of material that you put in there. The second way to pull information aside from just clicking on that add to playlist from Savvis Realize is to add a link. Now, this is the feature that you're going to need from Mosaic by ACT. If you recall, I had told you that, I told you to notice that there is no add to playlist. So let's do something a little more related to 9th grade, Romeo and Juliet. So if I search Romeo and Juliet, again, I'm going to get Pearson first. So I can see all of the things related to Romeo and Juliet in Pearson. I can add things to my playlist right away if I like. But if I want Mosaic, I want to see more, here is everything. We've got 140 results from Mosaic. Now, I've checked a couple of these things out. This Mr. Bruff, he seems to have quite a lot of interesting support for all things English language arts. So let's do one of his Act 1, Scene 1s. So I would click on this item. Of course, I would watch it and make sure it's appropriate for my students. And then I simply come up here to the address bar. I copy that link. I exit out of here and go back to my library. I click on add a link. I paste my link. I give it a title. This is Mr. Bruff. Act 1. Forgive my lack of, oh, good, I spelled things pretty well. I can put an additional description in here if I like, and then I click add. Now this sometimes takes a while. I don't want you to freak out, but you'll see when the link shows, it's going to have this symbol. I'm going to refresh my page because that is usually what it takes, and there it is. So now I can just click on this. It's going to open in a new window, and I'm going to be able to play that video. Let's go back. So these are the two easiest ways for you to take all of those things. You've got awesome curriculum frameworks. You have all those linked resources right there. Open some of those up. I'll show you how easy. I put some in my grade 6. So this right here, Out of the Dust, this was pulled directly from your curriculum framework. I simply clicked on that link, I added it, and here is the text of this particular feature, Out of the Dust. And what's nice about it is now that it's in your playlist, I can assign this to the students. I don't see the word assign, Donna. Where do I find it? It's on those 3 dots. When you click there, if you had put some information, which I did, I wrote down that this was the full text, or I can assign. You could also assign by clicking in this box. You could select both items and assign them, or I could come over here. If I deselect these, I could click assign all and assign them. So it just makes your life much, much easier. I can't begin to tell you. Look forward to just, take that challenge and let's get yourself organized. Put everything that you need into a playlist. And so I've got these playlists now. I've got these items in here. It's starting to look a little messy, right? We're talking about trying to stay organized. So we do have this refine by. If I just want to see my playlists, I can click right here and all those extra things go away. But you could also put these items where they belong. So this Romeo and Juliet belongs in my grade 9. And I wanted to use it as a teaching tool, not necessarily to assign it to my kids. So all I would have to do is hit my 3 dots and I can add this to the correct playlist. If I want to add this to grade 9, I simply click that and I click add. And every time you do this, it's going to ask if you want to go to your playlist or you can just keep doing what you're doing. So you can hit close. So I want to show you how now, if I just click on that playlist, there it is. From here, I can assign. Now, what if it's in my playlist now? Why do I need it here? You don't. If you're trying to clean things up, all you have to do now is click on those 3 dots. You can remove it from this list. I can still go back to my playlist and it's still there. So many different ways to be organized in the new year. It really makes me excited. It makes me wish that I could still be in a classroom and use this wonderful tool. All right, the last thing I want to show you that's going to really benefit you is that you can organize your playlist. Now, you are a Google Classroom school. And so when you're in your playlist, I ran across a teacher about a year ago who asked this question, and she wanted to be able to assign different pieces of her unit in a particular order. And she wanted to know how to do that on Savvis Realize. And I'll be honest, if you are just going through your unit resources and you are assigning things and that assignment box comes up, you pick your start and your end date. Let's instead of me talking, let me show. So you've got this box, you pick your start date, you pick your due date, you might even get fancy with times. I'm going to pick my start time and my end time. it is very tricky to keep your assignments in a particular order. You really have to watch your due dates. And even then, if you keep picking, Monday at 3:00, Monday at 3:00, it may look different for different students when they finally see it. The beauty of a playlist is if you assign everything in here, it's going to be in the order that you see. If you don't like this order, you can click on edit. So again, if you don't like the name, you can change your title. You'll see this one. I decided to put in my standards that are related to that unit. But I want the essay. I'm going to show this video actually first. Then we're going to look at the accessible level text, and then I'll have them. So now this is the order I like. I click save. If you now assign this to your students in their Google Classroom, they will see these 3 items in exactly this order. So if you are one of those teachers that likes to do that, to give them, a handful of assignments at a time that they're going to work on at their own pace, this is the way that you want to go. Really, I hope I've showed you that it's really easy to use a playlist and to create a playlist and to assign from your playlist. So again, my challenge, get out there, start pulling your resources, use those different search tools, build those playlists, and see how much easier it makes your life. I want to do a bit of a preview. There are 2 other things in here. There is a build a test feature where you would make the name of your own test, give it a description. You would select from which program are you using, and that's how it's going to know what questions to pull from. But maybe you looked at our assessments and you just feel like you need to give a quiz instead of giving that selection test at the very end. You want some more formative assessments. It's very, very easy to build your own right here using this build a test feature. When you do that, you're going to see that this is the symbol. So I just did something really simple. I just did an exit ticket. Maybe you just want to know how the students are feeling. Did you like using the audio? Yes or no? Do you think you could read this by yourself? Yes or no? Maybe you're just trying to get some feedback. So that build a test feature, it doesn't have to be a very lengthy thing. You could just put 2 or 3 questions for an exit ticket, or you could do a longer multiple choice quiz if that's what you would like it to do. And then finally, the other quick thing in here is write an essay prompt. I'll spend more time on essay score, but that's what this is connected to. It's a tool that will help students improve their own writing without having to have so much help from you. Very easy to use. Again, give it a title, type in the prompt. This is where you would select. So you guys are high school teachers. You would want to change that to 9 to 12. And then you choose what kind of writing you want them to do and simply click save. And when you do that, you're going to see this little symbol for essay scorer, and this would be your prompt. Again, everything, you click on the 3 dots and you're able to either move it to a playlist, assign it right here. You can go back and edit it if you like. If you decide, hey, I don't need this anymore, you can remove it. So really that's more about customizing. And I saved that piece for the end because that is what I'm planning to do next week. Oops. Actually, I take it back. I'm doing that in 2 weeks. Scrolled much too fast. All right, so you are able to customize your tests very easily. You are able to customize your actual lessons in my perspective. You can edit and you can rearrange things. You can get our downloadable Word documents and edit them. So that in 2 weeks, that is what my next session is going to be all about, how to make it your way. I've challenged you to use your search tools to find things that are going to help you. I have challenged you today to make a playlist And next week, I will show you how you can continue to customize your program. So my times are changing a little bit, and I'm going to flip-flop my grade bands. 6 to 8, I'm going to ask you to come 10:30 to 11, and 9 to 12. I hope to see you in 2 weeks from 11 o'clock to 11:30. Or I hope that you take the time to check out the Padlet, which has been put in the chat. And if you have a question, reach out to me, donna.kloss@savvis.com, or sign up for a 30-minute session on the Cloud HQ link. So Steve, that's all for me. I thank you so very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Donna. That was great information. Yeah, I'm a big fan of playlists, and you're right. It's a great way to have all your content organized and be able to use what you need to use. So I have on the schedule, are you now also up next?
I am. Now
Okay.
I'm going to do some things more geared for the 6 to 8 teachers.
Okay, awesome. So now we have Donna is going to take us on digital learning playlists for 6th through 8th grade teachers. So Donna, go ahead and fire up. You should be a pro now on the sharing and closed caption, but let me know if you need any help.
Okay, thanks so much, Steve. I appreciate it. I just need to reset a little bit.
Gotcha.
I scrolled too fast last time. All right, so...
And while you're getting that pulled up, I'll just let people know that concluding our Savvis programming for this morning will be, Kelly will be here with Elevate Science K through 5, planning with playlists. So we're going to have Donna here for 6th through 8th grade with my perspectives, and then we'll have Kelly with science for K through 5.
All right, so now I think I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this.
Looks
Okay.
good. All right.
Welcome, my 6th to 8th grade English Language Arts teachers. I am Donna Kloss. I am here to support you with my perspectives. You see my contact information. You can always email me at donna.kloss@savvis.com, or you can schedule a 30-minute session for yourself, or maybe a small group if you wanted to dive into something or get some extra information that can't be easily answered in an email. And both of those contact links are in the Padlet that my teammate, Chris Peterson, made. So feel free to go to that Padlet. I'm sure someone will get it in the chat again.
I'll post it right now.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Yep.
Let's take a look at what we're going to do today. Digital learning with playlists in my perspectives. I'm going to review a couple of the lesson planning tools, the search tools that I showed last week, if you happened to see that session. And I'm going to add a couple of different ways to search for resources. But I really want to highlight today where you need to click to add things to your playlist. And then I want to spend the rest of the time just showing you how to create your playlists, how to add things to your playlists, and how to organize them. And I'd like to end showing you a couple of other features that are a little bit of a segue into what I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks. And of course, if there are any questions, feel free, if you're here right now, to put them in the chat. We'll get those answered for you. And if you're listening to this on the recording, go to that Padlet, reach out to me, and I will get everything that you need answered. So let's go live. Right. Oh, see, I didn't reset this from the last one. All right. So here we are on our landing page for my perspectives. Last week, I showed you how to use this search tool to find some resources. It's really my favorite one to use. I'm going to save this one, and we're going to show you how, depending on where you are, it looks a little bit different. The second one I showed you last week was right here, coming to Browse, and that's where I'm going to start today. When you click on this Browse All Content, if you didn't see last week or watch that recorded session, you've got all these toggles over here on the left side of the screen. And I really like to mention these because these are awesome to use to help you differentiate your instruction. So you may be a 7th grade teacher, but maybe you want to make sure that you are also looking for things just below and just above your grade level. So if I click all of those toggles, I would be able to find that kind of information. And now I recall, I might have forgotten to tell the high school teachers, you always want to choose this My Perspectives Plus. This is the program agnostic feature that we have that has, my favorite word, a plethora of other kinds of activities for all grade levels to use. So that's always a good toggle to hit when you're looking for something. So I know in 7th grade, one of the plays that you read in My Perspectives is A Christmas Carol. So maybe you're trying to find that quickly. And I also know it's on your curriculum framework. So you want to see, what do we have for A Christmas Carol that's within your grade band? And when I click on that, I can see 21 things came up. I see this play. This is a feature in Unit 3 of our grade 7 program called Turning Points. And I can see all of these other things here related to A Christmas Carol. So how do I get them in my playlist, you ask? 'Cause I don't see any way to do that. It's these 3 dots. These are the 3 magic dots. Now you'll notice the difference between this tile and this tile. This one has an arrow, and this one does not. And the dots are going to be different. That one only says info, and this one, oh, that's where I can assign. That's where I can add to my playlist. And that's because this one has more underneath. This arrow is an indicator that there's something more to this tile. And if I click on it, I can see all of these other pieces that make up that particular tile. And now I see add to playlist. And this is where I can do that. So once you see that add to playlist, you have a couple of options to do so. You can select all by checking this box. You can add all over here on your playlist. Maybe you just want 2 of them. I'm working on analyzing craft and structure, and I want to do the vocabulary and word study. I can just click those 2, and I can come over here to the right, add those 2 to my playlist. Or if I just want 1, of course, I can check the box, or I can just click right here, add to playlist. Now, if I see this feature, I could just do all of those things directly, like I said, from right here. So that's what's going to happen when you search for things from that browse all content. You're going to have the ability to pick from which program you want and browse all of that content. Another way is to go to your actual program. Now, remember, if your table of contents doesn't look like mine, you may be on thumbnail view versus list view. My brain does not like thumbnail view. I like everything to just go up and down. I don't want to go across and down. So the next place I want to show you is, just right here. You'll see add to playlist, add to playlist, add to playlist. So many things have it right here. Others have the arrow and you have to open it up. So I want to have some help with distance learning. Now I can see that add to playlist. So that arrow operates the same way, regardless of where you are in Pearson Realize, that indicator that there are more items under this tile. But what I wanted to point out from this page are the resources. So if I click resources, this looks very similar to what I just did when I was browsing all programs. The main difference here is now I'm just browsing this program. So I can type in that same feature. I'm looking for things for A Christmas Carol. And what do you know? Don't these look fairly similar to the features that I was just looking at earlier? So I have all of these things. But here's what I want. I want this. Where's the playlist? Here's my arrow. I click on that tile, And now I have the option, couple reminder of some symbols. This little book here is telling me that this is the e-text. Well, yes, I want to have the students read the e-text. Here's an accessible leveled text. Here's an audio summary, which is also going to give you a summary in Spanish at the click of a button. And then I have all these extra things. Wow, what do I really want from A Christmas Carol? So open these up, take a look at these worksheets, see if these work for you. And if they do, you can again click multiple things, add them to your playlist, click things one at a time, add them to your playlist. Either way, these things are going to get where they need to go. So let me go back. And I said I wanted to show you, let me do one more thing. I want to show you standards. So right next to resources, another new way to search is just by clicking on standards. Now this is a drill down menu. I could click right here, but then I would see all of the standards. You want to click here in the green box where the arrow is. And now you can see the different areas of English language arts and the standards for reading literature, informational text, etc. If I click reading literature from here, I'm going to see everything related. I got 114 results doing it that way. Well, I didn't really mean, I wanted to be a little more specific than that. So it is, you just kind of have to watch where you're clicking. You want to click in this, again, where the arrow is, and now I will get to those individual standards. And now I can go directly to reading literature standard number 3. And this is all stuff now that is directly related. Here's my Scrooge and Marley, directly related to reading literature standard number 3. And now I could add this directly. This is my e-text, see my symbol? I can add this directly to my playlist. So let's take a look. I keep saying we're going to do it. Here's what it looks like. When you click on add your playlist, you can select a playlist. I've already got some created. So this would be going into my grade 7 unit 2. I would just click on that and click add. Or if you haven't created them yet, or if you know you want a new one, you always have this opportunity to create a new playlist as you go. So I mentioned this with the high school teachers, with distance learning. Think about a naming convention. Think about how you want to use your playlist. I know, again, you're assigning from Monday to Monday. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I forget what I just said to the high school teachers. Maybe you want to call this, week 17. That's the week of school that you're in, and you're only going to put in the things that you're going to teach this week. You can create that playlist. You could go directly to that playlist. I'm going to close. We'll go there in a moment, but this will take you directly to your playlist, and you could see that you put this Christmas Carol Act 2 into your week 17 playlist. So the last thing I wanted to show you, that when you're on these pages, these resource pages, let's go back to Christmas Carol. I said I was going to come back to the magnifying glass. Now you can always use this. Oops. And I can search for that same item. But this is now different. This didn't show up if you looked at last week's video, this was not here. This only shows up when you're in the resources or standards where it says only search this program. And I do not recommend checking that box. The whole purpose of using this magnifying glass is so that you have even more options. So first, again, it's always going to search Sabbaths. You're going to find those same things that we just looked at related to Christmas Carol. But now I have this extra tab, see results from Mosaic. And when I click on that, look at all of these extra things that I have in Mosaic by ACT. This is filled with teacher-vetted resources that are aligned to your standards. The one thing it doesn't do for you is it doesn't know what grade level you want. So you do have to preview. Of course, we're all excellent teachers and we always preview what's in here. But look at all these great things. I like this Mr. Bruff guy. Look at all the things that he has with A Christmas Carol in here. So here's an analysis of Fred Scrooge. Here's a character analysis of Scrooge. Here's Fan and Fezziwig. So let's say you find one of these, you preview it, and you really like this item. How do I get it into my playlist? Well, I'm going to show you that very shortly. Let's get in there. Here's my library. Remember, the Savvis Realize tab always gets you back to your home page, but this toolbar stays here, so you can always click on my library. And remember that week 17 that we just created? Here it is. So you can create them that way, or once you're in my library, you can come right over here on the left side and just create a playlist. Same exact box is going to come up for you to fill in. Once you start having lots of these things here, it can get a little bulky. You can refine based on what you want to look at. So if I just click my playlists, you'll notice there's some color coding going on. All of the things that are in fuchsia are playlists, and these are the playlists that I've created. Again, I bring up that naming convention. Take some time and decide, how do you want your playlist to look? How do you want to name things? Do you want to put your compelling question right in there? Do you want to have a folder just for your teaching tools versus things that you would assign to your students? You've got a lot of flexibility here. That's why I love playlists so much. But I want to know, how do I get that Mr. Bruff item into my playlist? Well, here are the other ways that you can add your own content. So I've shown you how to add Savvis Realize content. You just click on Add to Playlist. But again, I apologize if I'm repeating. I was always trying to be organized. I know some of you out there listening, you work with that one teacher who is ultra organized to the point of OCD. And she was my best friend. And it killed me that I could never be as organized as she was. When I needed a new worksheet that I had used, I couldn't remember if I had put it on one of my many flash drives. Did I save it on my personal computer at home? Did I save it on my network at school? I drove myself crazy. The beauty of these playlists is that you can put everything in one place. You can take those things from your curriculum frameworks and put them here. You can take those worksheets that you've made and put them here, and everything will be assignable to the students. It's the most wonderful thing. I can't say enough about it. So let's get to it. To add your content, simply click Upload a File. You can attach from your computer. You can attach from your Google Drive. You can attach from Microsoft OneDrive. Here are the size requirements. You can do as many as you want as long as they are under that 10 megabytes. So once you do that, let's just say I'm going to attach from my computer. Here's this Christmas Carol lessons that I found that I thought were really awesome. All you would have to do is click on that, and I'm not going to do it now because I've already got it in here once. Give it a title, give it a description, and click Add. And you're going to find that item. Let me click off of playlists. I put it in here. Here it is. 5 Christmas Carol lesson plans. When I click on the 3 dots, that is where I have my opportunity to assign this item. I may decide, you know what, I tried these lesson plans. They don't work very well. And I've mentioned last year, when you build a playlist, it remains for the life of the time that you have my perspectives. This is not going to poof, disappear at the end of the school year. So you have a lot of leeway here with, you try it one year, you put it in your playlist, and then you realize, no, I don't like this. You can always get rid of it. Never be afraid that you can't undo something that you've done. So if I try these lesson plans and I don't like them, I can always get rid of them. I can assign these directly, or I can add these to my playlist. So these are lesson plans. These aren't things that I really want for my students. So again, my titles are getting a little messy here. So I'm going to put this in my teaching tools and click add. And so now if I go to that playlist, here it is. Okay, so that's how you upload a file. Very, very easy to do. To add a link, this is what you need for searching things in Mosaic. So let's go back to that and find that Mr. Bruff video that I liked so much. All you have to do is open it. I wanted this fan and Fezziwig. I watched it. I think it's great. It's going to be an extra little emphasis for me to use with my students. Simply go to the address, copy it, exit out of this asset, go back to my library, add a link, paste. Give it your title. This was the Mr. Bruff Fan and Fezziwig video. Oops, pardon my spelling. And I click add. Now, when it says it takes a minute, it does. You look, where is it? Where is it? It should have this same icon as this one. I don't see it. I don't see it. Don't freak out. Refresh your page. There it is. So it will show up. Now I want to put this into my 7th grade playlist. I can go to my playlist. There it is. Very, very easy to do. But now as I'm adding things, this is getting bulky. I have too much. If I put this in my playlist, why is it also here? It doesn't need to be. I can now go to my 3 dots and I can remove this item. It will disappear from this list, but when I go into my playlist, it's still there. So again, it's all about how do you want to organize? Are there certain things that you want to have on that main page that you have easy access to versus let's be very, very tidy and let's have everything in its own playlist. Just a number of ways for you to organize. Now, the other thing with assigning, with you guys using Google Classroom that I really want to mention because this is going to make your life easy. If you didn't watch the last video, you haven't seen the assign screen. So when you assign, your title is going to show up here. You can always change it if you need to. You're going to be able to pick your start date and your due date. Again, I know you guys go Monday to Monday. You may want to be more specific and set start and end times. Maybe you want everyone to get this by, I don't know what time your students report, 7:30 in the morning, and your school day ends at 3 p.m. And so you want everything turned in by 3 p.m. You can pick whatever you like here. You can type in some instructions if you like. You just start to type the name of your grade, choose your grade. Notice that I have some names I can assign to individual students if I like. But once I do what I like, I can just hit assign, and that item is going to be assigned. Now, I could do that with all of these pieces, and they may just randomly show up in any order on your student side. You could get very precise with your end date, and this one's due at 2:59, this one's due at 2:58, to try to put them in a certain order. But there's a better way. Google Classroom, again, I had a teacher ask me last year, she wanted to give a chunk of assignments to her students to work at their own pace, which with distance learning, I totally understand how that would be ideal right now. This isn't the order that I want my students to work. So I'm going to click this edit button. I can change the title of my playlist. I can change my description. I can remove things, that warning of, okay, this link works this year, but you know how things are on the internet. Double check, make sure all of your links work next year. If they don't, you can easily remove these things. But if I move my cursor, see how it's now in the 4 directions? I can take this video and move it to the top. No, I want them to actually read the accessible level text first. And I want this essay to be at the end. Okay, this is the order I want. I click save. Now, if you were to assign all of these items, the students are going to get them in this exact order. So it's perfect for those teachers who want students to work at their own pace, but want to make sure that they complete a certain assignment in a certain order. Just makes life so much easier to be able to use your playlist and assign things that way. So that's it with making a playlist and getting your things in there. Again, I encourage, if you have any questions or want to go over this again, reach out to me. I'm going to spend, I got a couple of minutes left. I kind of want to preview these other features that are here. And they kind of, this is your teaser for my next session on customizing. There is a build a test feature where you can make a title, give it a description. You can select a program and it will pull questions from that program. You can decide, is this a test that I want them to get a 70? Do I want to select from a test bank, or do I want to write my own? It's a really neat tool to use to build your own tests or quizzes or whatever you want to call them. One thing that I think is great about that tool is you can just have an exit quick ticket. Just a couple of questions to make sure the kids are following along. Just a short quiz to make sure, formative assessment wise, are they getting it before I give them that selection test at the end. So that build a test feature is really cool. You're going to then see this icon for a test that you built, and they work exactly the same way. You can add them to your playlist. You can always go back and customize them and add more questions in. So again, on January 27th, I'm going to spend more time with how to customize. But I wanted, your challenge is to get in here and make a playlist. Maybe you see these other 2 things here and you want to start playing around. The next is write an essay. So it works very similarly. You can give your essay a title. You can give it a description. You guys are 6th to 8th grade. It's going to default to this low level, best suited for this grade band. Maybe you're differentiating and want a higher level. You've got a higher standard for your students with their writing, and you want to change that. And then you simply come over here and you pick which type of writing it is. And I can talk more about Essay Scorer, and I'm happy to do a lesson for anybody who wants to about how Essay Scorer can help students improve their own writing. It's really an amazing tool, but this is where you can write your own prompts. We have a whole bunch that are already pre-done, but maybe you want something specific to what you're doing. Maybe it's not even related to your curriculum. Maybe you just want to talk about current events or something. So it's really awesome to have that tool there. So as I wrap up, and I had just talked about what I'm going to do next, let's look a little bit more at my next session. So along with customizing, I told you about the tests. I want to show you how we're able to customize tests so that they suit what you guys need it to do. You can also customize Savvis Realize. The lessons themselves, maybe you want to put some of these things that I showed you in your playlist right into the lesson. So I can show you how to do that. I can also show you just how to rearrange or edit what your Savvis Realize account looks like. And that might make your life easier. And finally, a lot of our things download into protective Word documents, but you may want to edit them in order to differentiate. So I'll go over how to do that. So that next session for me is January 27th. I'm calling it Make It Your Own Way. 6th to 8th grade teachers, I hope you can join me from 10:30 to 11. I'll be doing the 9th to 12th grade teachers from 11 to 11:30. And of course, if you can't join us live, always you've got this awesome channel where you can always go back and look at things at your own leisure. So Steve, wow, I need some water.
Good job, Donna.
But yeah, thank you so much for having us. Again, we're all here to help. If anybody needs any extra help with my perspectives, I'm really looking forward to hearing from teachers.
All right, great. Well, thank you for all that awesome playlist information. And we look forward to having you back on January 27th. We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. All right, it is 11 o'clock, and we're going to switch over to science for kindergarten through 5th grade with Kelly. Kelly, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Steve?
Doing well. So where are you talking to us from?
Well, right now I am in cold Michigan. But not
Cold
for
Michigan.
long.
All right.
Headed to Florida soon. Got to get out of here.
It is a little chilly up there.
It is. I'm in the land of Magic Johnson. Heard you were a Hoosier.
I am a Hoosier. Well, I live in Louisville now. I actually lived in Louisville longer than I did Indiana, but I did go to IU, so I'm a Hoosier fan.
Nice.
For sure.
Good
Yes.
for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
All right.
So
Well,
let's see
I'm here to help talk you through sharing your screen and getting the captions going. If you need any help,
All
you're
right.
on a good start.
I am.
And then present.
Yep.
Click on present over by the yellow share on the right side. There you go. And then close
Did I
caption.
close caption on?
Yep. And then just get rid of that hide and you are all set. Thank you, Kelly.
We're ready to go. And I think Chris Peterson's on with me today. And he's
Okay.
going to be watching the chat.
And do you have a Padlet as well?
I do. I do.
Okay.
And I sent the link to Chris. Just sent it to him though. So
Okay.
we'll see if he's got that and can put it
He
in
can
the chat.
he can try to put it in the chat and I can approve it on my end. But if he can't, oh, never mind. Laura is on the ball. She just sent it to me. So I'll get that in the chat for you.
All right. Thanks so much. It's good to be here today. And we're going to look at K through 12 science. I'm the science consultant for Savvis. And we're going to concentrate on Elevate Science and creating playlists today. That being said, creating playlists is making your planning more efficient and using the Savvis platform to do that. And the playlists are located in my library. We talked about this in our last session when we went over the Realize platform. I like to think about my library as kind of being your file cabinet where you keep everything. And the nice thing about the My Library is that it stays with you from year to year. So even though your classes kind of come and go, your data will be taken away after each school year, the My Library will stay with you for the length of the contract that you have with Savvis products. So these playlists that you create will stay there for you, and you can use those, year after year. We're going to focus today on kindergarten through 2nd grade. But I want everybody to know that when you're creating these playlists using Elevate Science, or if you're in Miller and Levine biology or experience chemistry, the process is the same. But I chose this time around to show a little love to the K through 2 teachers. And I think, as Chris said earlier today, if you watched his session, or if you do watch his session on speaking about the 6 through 12 mathematics, he put it really well. He said that a playlist is a specified list of activities that are stored in one place. And when we look at the Realize platform, you're going to see that it's this pink area right here where you have the My Library. And you can see that you can upload files, you can add links, you can build a test once you have created your playlist. And that's what we're going to get into in more detail today. And, like we said, why do we do this? Well, we want to make sure that our planning is more efficient and more effective, especially in our crazy world today. So, how did I go about starting my planning when I was thinking about kindergarten, first and second grade? Well, the first thing that I did is I looked at the JCPS standards, the curriculum map for kindergarten through second grade. And I looked at the third unit, animal and plant needs, and it's the same kindergarten, first and second grade. And we noticed that those are going to start around February. And then I came over here and I looked at the NGS standards. So I'm using the materials from JCPS to correlate those with what we offer using the Elevate Science program. And then I went a little further, and we can dig a little deeper, and we can look at each individual curriculum map and try and correlate, some of the activities that are happening on the Savvis Realize platform with what's happening with the units of study. So when we do that then, and we get into the Savvis Elevate Science, we can see that in kindergarten, it's our topic called Needs of Living Things that we're going to be looking at. And when we look at first grade, it would be our topic called Living Things. And in second grade, there's actually 2 different topics. And those 2 different topics would be plants and animals. And there's also one on habitats. And I decided today that we'll look a little closer at habitats. And you'll notice down below, I've listed the NGS standards again, because we want to follow those through and keep those in the forefront as we're doing our planning and our alignment between the Savvis materials and the JCPS units of study that have already been so, well outlined for your units of study. So let's take a look again. Here's our standards that we're looking for and creating the playlists using the Savvis platform. So when I look at kindergarten, and we are going to go live in just a bit, but when we look at kindergarten, we, again, just as a review, we're going to see our browse, our classes, our data, and then here's my library. That's what we're going to concentrate on today. And then we see our table of contents. And here's my topic, Needs of Living Things. Well, it's not the first topic, but what I did is I used my rearrange button. And if you didn't see our last week's program, we talked about using this rearrange button and rearranging our topics. And I brought Needs of Living Things up to the top just to make it easier for me to use. So this is the topic that we're going to be focusing on for kindergarten. Right? And then if I open that, I'm going to see that each of my topics is further divided into my topic launch folder. I'm going to have my lessons, and then it's going to close with a topic close. So let's go live onto the Savvis Realize platform and take a look at how we're going to create these playlists. So here's my Savvis Realize. I'm logged in here and I want to browse my programs. And I wanted to remind you that I can take my programs and I can sort them by grade, subject, and favorites. And I marked some favorites here by putting stars by them. Notice I've got grade 1, grade 2, and down here is my kindergarten. So I'm going to click on kindergarten here. And we're going to take a look at connecting and making these playlists using Savvis activities and linking them to the JCPS framework. And again, if you would like to contact me, feel free to email me or schedule some meetings using the Cloud HQ appointment scheduler. There's also information on my Padlet to do this, and I'm definitely anxious and happy to be meeting with you. So let's go into the topic launch folder. I want to show you a few things here. So here's our topic launch. And you can see that we have some quest kickoff. This is a storyline that runs through the topic. And we can directly add this to the playlist. We have a quest checklist and a quest rubric. And again, these will be storylines that build through the topic as we go. So if we look at, let's say, let's build a park, this will be kind of a video that we watch, that the kids can watch. Again, teachers will have to decide whether they want to do this synchronously or asynchronously. And it moves through 3 different sections that the kids will be watching. And there's also a checklist. I want to make sure if we can, we'll see the checklist so we can go through the different parts of what we'll be doing as we move through our topic on plants and animals, building that park. And then down here, we'll have a rubric so that teachers already have a built-in rubric as to how to assess this. We have an e-text here, alike and different. And we want to remember that with JCPS, we want to do the reading during our explain and elaborate phase. So even though this is the topic launch, we want to make sure that we're keeping that in mind, that we want our kids to be doers of science, and we want to log into this e-text and have our kids doing the reading more during the explain and the elaborate phase. Okay, and if we sign in there with our username, which we would use in the same username that we sign in with, that will take us out to the e-text. All right, now on the e-text, few things to point out. This will read to the kids, so we have an audio portion here, and we do have some nice related activities with ELA, so we do have reading checks along the way here. If our kindergartners are not quite reading yet, this will read it to them. Right, let's go back. Another thing I wanted to point out, we do have some teacher resources. I can do a drop-down menu here. So if I wanted to send a letter home, I can add this to my playlist as well. And something that's very unique to kindergarten through 2nd grade is in the topic opener, we do have a song that the kids will learn to sing. Oh, it's a little video. I would play it for you, but I'm not sure, Steve, if our sound on these comes up very well during our videos.
Yeah, you can always play it for a second, but yeah, the sound isn't great unless you're doing that tab presentation. Okay. Yeah.
And then we have a coloring activity that goes along with the sound. So again, in this virtual world that we're living in right now, some of these we'll have to plan on whether we want to do them synchronously or asynchronously. If it's a worksheet, we have to decide if we want to use that at this time, or if we're going to decide, that's not going to work for us in this environment, or maybe if we're fortunate and the kids are going to come back face to face, then maybe we will use these types of activities. So what I'm going to do to create my playlist is I can start adding these to the playlist. So I can add them one by one by clicking here, or I can click over here and add them simultaneously to my playlist. So let's say that I want to do the quest because I like this particular quest. So I can start checking these. And I definitely would like to have them do the song. And I'm going to add the coloring activity because I like it. I'm not sure that it's going to work in this particular environment, but possibly when we go back face to face. So I'm going to add these now to the playlist. And I'm going to create a new playlist. And I need to give it a title. And I want to make sure that my playlist doesn't get too long. So I might say that this is my kindergarten needs of animals. And I might call it the topic opener. So one thing that I've been hearing from teachers is that the playlists are getting too long. And so I think it's really important. I like to name my playlist according to content so that I can go back and find it, because in science, sometimes we reorder the content. And I might write in here that it's the quest kickoff and the song. And so I'm now going to create my playlist, right? And if I want to go to that playlist, now I can see all of my assignments are in there, right? And they're ready to go. Now I can assign all of these to my students, or I can select some of these to the students. I can also edit this, and I can rearrange them if I would like in the order that I want them assigned. And I can save it. And now I've created this particular playlist. Any questions so far?
No, it looks good.
We're good. Okay.
Thanks,
good.
Chris.
All right. So let's now, I'm going to go back to my classes then. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to browse. I'm going to go back into kindergarten. Needs of living things. Notice again, it's up at the top. And I'm going to, because we're looking at plants and animals, I'm going to go up here to this search bar because I would like to, as a teacher, I'd like a little bit of literacy added to this content. And so I'm going to type in the word vegetables. You can see that I've been practicing. And we're going to give it a second here to search. And these now are all of the activities that come up for vegetables within the programs that we have that sit on the Realize platform. So all of my Elevate Science, Miller and Levine Biology, and I can sort them by grade, etc. And I can see all of these. This is awesome. You'll notice 168 results. I'm going to go out here to this mosaic by ACT. Oh. And all of my practice came up with a book earlier.
I like that you practice your presentation. It shows you're a pro.
I did practice it. And when I went out and did this, there we go. Thank you very much. I found this book called Unite for Literacy. And it's a book on counting vegetables, and it talks to the kids and it lets me count my radishes and my peppers, etc. So I liked this book and I thought, well, this would be a good one maybe to add to my playlist. So all I have to do is I can copy this. And if I go back here, now I can go to my library and I can add a link. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste that URL and I'm going to add that this is counting for vegetables. And I can add that. Now it's going to come up as a link and I'm going to refresh. And I'm going to refresh again and see if I can get my count. There's my counting for vegetables. Now, if I want to put this inside of my topic opener, I can now click on these three dots and I can add it to a playlist. So if I select the playlist, then if I select Kinder Needs of Animals topic opener, I can click on that and I can add it. And if I now go to my playlist, let's see if it's in there. And there it is, counting for vegetables. So going out there and searching for some other things that I wanted, if I wanted to add a video, etc., that's how we would do that. All right. Let's go into, I'm going to go into here, back to needs of living things. And I'd like to go into needs of animals. We're still in kindergarten. Check my time here. Oh gosh, it's 11:20 already.
Yeah,
all right.
You're doing fine.
Okay.
And if you go over a little bit, don't worry about it. We don't have anything else after you until after lunch.
Okay, great. So needs of animals here. So now we're at the lesson level. I just wanted to show you what the lesson level looks like here. And again, one thing about Elevate Science is it's divided into the Connect, which would align with Engage. For the 5 E's, it would be Engage. Investigate would align with Explore. Our Synthesize aligns with Explain and Elaborate. And this is where we want to use the e-text, which is actually located up here. So just a reminder of that as far as the JCPS frameworks are involved. And then the Demonstrate would be your Evaluate. So just a little friendly reminder about that. Here, if we're looking at, our virtual world, I'm going to go through here and I'm going to be looking mostly at things that my kids can interact with. So I might choose like my video, the needs of animals here. And I can click on this and add it to a playlist. Now, this one, I'm going to create a new playlist. And like I said, I like to name mine according to the content. So this might be Kinder Needs of Animals. And this is lesson 2. So I'm going to create that playlist so I know exactly where to find it. All right. And now I can add more to this. So I might look at this You Investigate Lab, and we're going to do some more with this in upcoming sessions. The You Investigate Lab, if I want to take a look at this is something that really allows the kids to explore the science on their own. It makes them the doers of science before we go in and do direct instruction. So I like to look at these because I look at the materials and I try and find maybe some You Investigate Labs that the kids can do on their own based on what materials they need. So this one, do all kids have pipe cleaners, scissors, crayons at home? No. So that's not going to be one that I'm going to choose to maybe put in my playlist when I'm teaching virtually. But if I look at this enrichment over here on my teacher drop-down menu, if I have some kids that might need to be pushed a little bit, I'm going to look at this right here, and it's an animal scientist activity, and they're going to read about animals and scientists. So I might have some parents who want to stretch their kids a little bit and are asking for this. This might be something that I want to add to my playlist. So I take a look at that and I say, yes, I'm going to add that to my playlist. And I wanted to make teachers aware that this drop-down menu is available and you can add that to the playlist. So I'm going to select it again and I'm going to do needs of animals and I'm going to add that. And I don't have to go to my playlist yet. Don't really want to do that. Come down here to my synthesize and I'm going to pick my interactivity. We're going to do some sessions on the interactivities. These are fun activities where kids are going to be asked to do like some drag and drops. So we see our little prairie dog here, and I'm supposed to drag and drop like where his shelter is, where his food is. Oh no, that's not food. Wrong, Miss P. There it is, water, etc. So you get the idea of those. Like I said, that's going to be another upcoming session. Love that kind of stuff. And then I might want to do my quest check-in. And maybe I want to do a U engineer it, but there again, oh, it's an interactivity. So yes, definitely want to do that. Might want to do my quest check-in, etc. And now I'm going to add those. And notice here I have a quiz and I can also edit the quiz. So this is quite nice because I can go in and if I haven't done all of the activities, then I can change up my quiz and I can share those on my playlist as well. So I come back here and I can add those to my playlist. See, add to selected playlist. There we go. And I'm going to have to select it again. The kinder. Okay, add those. And now I'm going to go to my playlist. And here's all the things that I have put in this particular playlist. All right. So I just wanted to make a point of that teacher resource drop down for that. Let's go into first grade. And again, for first grade, when we look at our standards that align with JCPS curriculum map, we would be looking at living things, our living things unit right here in first grade. Again, we have our topic launch, our 4 lessons here, and then our topic close. If I wanted to create a playlist from here, what I could do, let's take a look at plant parts. So I can come into lesson plant parts. I'm going to look at some things here that maybe I would choose. Again, I have an enrichment activity over here that I liked. I took a look at that. I like the video, so I can click on that. Take a look again at the U Investigate Lab and see, is this something that all kids could do at home? Here's an interactivity on plant parts. I like that. And then maybe I liked the quiz, so I can do that. Again, go up here, add that to a playlist. However, I'm going to have to create a playlist because now I'm in grade 1, and this is it's an animals lesson 2. Sorry, I have to create the playlist. One, animals and plants. Lesson 2. Right, and here I could put my standards in. I could write any kind of notes that I wanted to do. That's optional. So now I can go to this playlist and I can see that I have 2 things here. Another thing I wanted to show you is that I can upload a file. So I can bring this in from my computer because I was looking at an activity and I wanted to add a few things. So I wanted to add more pictures of plants and trees. And this is what Chris and I were talking about earlier. If I open this and I attach the file, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you were saying that not all computers can open that document when I save this as a doc. So I can give it a title of pictures of plants and trees. And I can add it. Currently, I have to check this box down here that I have to certify that everybody can use it and I can distribute it. And I'm going to refresh because I just brought it in. You should be able to see it. Let's refresh it again. Here's my pictures of plants and trees. And I want to put it in the grade 1 Animals and Plants lesson 2. So I'm going to add that to the playlist, select it. Grade 1, there it is. I'm going to add it. And if I go to my playlist, it should be there. But because it's in a document, if I upload a file attached from computer, what Chris was telling me is what I want to do is I want to open this, correct, Chris?
In the chat. Oh, okay. Chris is there. Sorry.
And I put in the chat that it's best to save it as a PDF.
Right. So I would come in here and I'm going to find it first and I'm going to open it. And then I'm going to I'm going to save it. Save as, and then simply here in this, I'm going to save it down here as a PDF.
Very nicely done.
Thank you. He is our tech guru. So now when I do this, I should have 2 of them. So if I go back then to my platform, I should be able to attach from computer. Now I can choose my PDF, and that one's going to work better for the kids. And I can add that one. Oh, title. And then I have to certify down here, and I'm going to add it. And I'm going to refresh. Maybe it came up already. Oh, and look, they're different. That's cool. And so we're going to add that to the playlist, and I can select the playlist then, which will be grade 1. And then when we go to we see them both here. This would be the Word doc, and this is the PDF. All right. Any questions in the chat, or are we doing pretty good?
I think we're doing good. Chris posted that information in the chat for teachers as well.
Awesome. All right. So my challenge to everybody, K through 5, would be to get out there and take a look at those units that apply to plants and animals on the Savvis platform and Elevate Science, and maybe to just try and create a playlist, start a playlist and maybe put 1 or 2 things in it. Just start small.
I totally agree, Kelly. The best way to get started is just to play around with it. As with any technology, when people first try to make a Google form or try to do anything with Google, you just give it a couple goes. Your first playlist might not be the way you like it, but once you get that first one, the learning experience of it, then you should be off and running.
And the beauty of it is you can remove them, you can delete them. So it's not like anything is has to stay there forever. You can go in, you can practice, and you can delete them. So and if you like a playlist, you can just remove certain items from the playlist as well. So you can't go wrong. And if you need help or you want to try creating a playlist together, I'm here to help. Please feel free to email me, schedule a meeting. You can schedule it by yourself. You can schedule it with a professional learning community. You can schedule it with 2 people. It does not have to be from the same grade. We can work in grade bands, K through 5, 6 through 8, whatever you would like. If you're using Miller and Levine biology and you want to do this, if you have lessons that you love, lesson plans, you saw that I had some of the items on my playlist came from a Google Drive. We all have lesson plans that we know are tried and true. You can load those on to your playlist as well. If you're working in Experience Chem and you want to take a look at that, I'm here to help you. So please feel free. Next session, we're going to take a look at some interactivities and maybe get started on some of the You Investigate labs. So that'll be January 20th. Always happy to help.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Kelly. You did a great job, and we look forward to having you back on January 20th.
Thank you.
Before we head into lunch, let's talk about what programming we will have on the Digital Learning Channel after lunch. So we have a DPOJ/STLP. So you might be like, I'm not sure what all those mean. That's a Digital Project Online Judging Student Technology Leadership Projects. So if you are an STLP lead or doing DPOJ with your students, make sure you come back after lunch for Russ Hockenberry, my Zone 3 elementary partner, and he will help you out on how to get those projects and DPOJs submitted. STLP is still happening because they figured out a way to do it virtually, which is great. Then at 1 o'clock, we'll have Matt Balka and Danielle Washburn and Oliver here to talk about Nearpod. So if you're interested in learning about Nearpod, make sure to come back, check that out. And then we'll also have Pear Deck 201. So I guess that's maybe Pear Deck Part 2 with Jenna Cooper, and then DuPont Manual Esports, Jacob Jury and the Manual Esports team. So some great programming after lunch. Thank you for joining with us today. If you can't stick around and watch all the programming, we will get it available on the Digital Learning Channel as soon as possible, and you can watch it there and use the power of pause and watch on demand as needed. Thank you to our Savvis team for being here, providing great support. The district bought Savvis, and not only did we get the product, but we have a great support team that is here to help you. You can email them, you can set up office hours, you can watch their videos, but they want you to be successful with using Savvis during your teaching, and we're glad to have their support. Well, thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm not sure who'll be your moderator in the afternoon, but make sure to come back after lunch if you can, and enjoy your lunch. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you.